obviously it's not on.
Oh,
Sean,
but of course,
Sean, when do you know what you're looking at?
I don't know.
Ooh.
When I look in the mirror, I know I'm looking at the most handsome man on earth. I know that.
Well, gee, Ben, what are we doing tonight?
Same thing we do every night. Trying to take over the world.
Let's go. Let's take over the world.
This is not happening, but we're here to try.
Or we're taking over this part of the world.
It's true. It's a little fragment of YouTube. Little fragment. What is going on, everyone? Welcome into the voice.
It's not good enough. You need to take over all of it.
Shut up, Sean. I'm doing the intro. Welcome in, everyone. The voice of college football. It's college football after dark. Off-season editions, specifically. We are here to talk college football all the time, as much as we can. Don't worry. I see you, Marski. I don't know who you are, but you're here. Jason is here. Jason's a sicko, and you're football. You're football. Yeah. So how's everyone doing tonight? Kind of lost my train of thought there.
Beautifully well. How are you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm at peace. I'm at peace.
Peace, tranquility. Those are the best two things I have in the world, man. I tell you what, old peace.
Is it peace, or is it just like sort of resignation? Like you just stop caring?
Both.
Oh, man.
Both. It's both, I think.
I'll tell you this, though, like, if you ever call on the Feinbaum show, it's like a real life 21st century version of Hatfields and McCoys. They're just like yelling with a mouthful of dip in their mouth, talking about, oh, well, Paul, that Jim guy's stupid. Oh, well, that man guy's so stupid. He's so stupid. You're a weasel, Paul. You're a weasel. You're a weasel. You're just a damn weasel. You don't know what the hell you talking about, Paul.
This is why I can't do the Paul Feinbaum show. I've listened to so many of their callers. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. Most of them are out of their minds.
Just do what I do. Like, if you ever call in on the Feinbaum show and you hear like the rednecks from the mental institution, and if you feel like you gotta laugh, just put the call on hold. That way nobody can hear you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And George is in the room tonight. Love to see George. He's been on and off this season.
That sounded like an odd transition going from what Jackson was saying to and George is here. That reminds me.
You have to transition somehow. I'm not saying it's the smoothest transition. And Karen's here. College football knowledge is low, but hey, that's okay. Hey, none of us here are like experts.
Hey, we will educate you as best we can. It might not be very much.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that last comment. Oh my god.
Jason.
Penn State is a damn wrestling school. They're a goddamn machine. They took number 2 Iowa just to the wood chipper on Friday night.
You have broken Jackson, Jason. You have broken Jackson, apparently. I didn't know that was possible. You have.
I'm never gonna quit laughing tonight, I bet.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I gotta remove that, otherwise he's gonna keep laughing. How are you guys doing tonight, though? And here we go.
I don't even know if I saw that comment.
It doesn't matter. Leave it alone. Just let it die. Let it die slowly. One by one, please tell people where you can stalk you online too, by the way, gentlemen.
Well, Jackson, do you need a moment? Jackson?
I'll be okay. But of course, you can find some real good laughs and have a real good time on Alabama with the Voice of College Football, especially where not only you can find my latest video from today where I go over my reaction to Ryan Grubb being hired as the new OC for the Alabama Crimson Tide, but of course, tomorrow afternoon is the next edition of Crimson Tide Live, where Johnny and I go over our take on spring is near and signing day is here. And plus, of course, you can check out some magic on Alabama with the Voice College Football, where Johnny and I host Crimson Tide Live Monday afternoons, and Jeffrey and I host the call-in show Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central Time, where we take your calls discussing the Alabama Crimson Tide, including a little bit about the Alabama basketball program, where we could see a number 1, number 2 matchup between Auburn and Alabama. That's not something I thought we'd be saying 10 years ago, but here we are. But of course, you could check me out on Jackson Johnson 979 on YouTube, where I'm 106 subs away for that magic number 500. And of course, I will be having episode 60 of the Jacksonian Tuesday night, where we will be filming Tuesday night, but it will be released Wednesday night, where I will have night debate from Locked On Patriots to discuss what the new era is going to be like in New England for 2025. And for more updates on what I'm doing on Alabama with the Voice College Football and the Jacksonian, check me out on Jackson VOCFB on X and on Instagram threads at Jackson Johnson 543908. And you can also check my Blue Sky account. If you don't like Twitter, if you don't like Instagram for whatever reason, check out, see what I have to say on Blue Sky for more updates. Sean, where can they find you?
Jackson, I have to clarify real quickly. So Alabama has now hired Grubb twice.
Yep.
I want to
we were.
Make sure. I want to make sure that's clear.
Yeah, we did have him as our OC for 2024, but then it was like he left for the Seahawks, but then Seahawks made him their fall guy. But then it was like, and I won't spoil too much, but I go over a little bit in that video where I talked about how DeBoer was saying that, if Grubb needs anything, he can let me know, which that wasn't a yes, but it wasn't a no. Those are the things you have to watch out for in coach press conferences, is not so much if a coach says yes to your question, but if he says no. And we have the co-host of Duts Live on Oregon at the Voice College Football.
The soon to be ex co-host, if his camera connects. I was waiting for him to pop up before I brought him back up. Sean, where can people find you though?
All right, well, Jackson will drop the links to my socials there. The Tweet Machine and the Blue Sky.
The Tweet Machine.
Yes, and this week I will actually be heading over to the greatest college town in the United States, Columbus, Ohio, later this week, taking in a few sporting events, meeting up with some people and celebrating the good times. So if you're on High Street anywhere, keep a lookout for the most handsome man around, and I might buy you a drink if you come say hi. So
if I show up, you're going to buy me a drink?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so damn nice of you.
Absolutely.
I'm saving my F-bomb for the night for something more significant.
So you're saying you will be coming to Columbus on like Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
God, no. God. No.
Oh.
Absolutely not. Oh shit. Let's go Rutgers. You might be in this. You might be in some of the topics tonight there, Adam. Yeah, you might be in some of the topics tonight. Spaz. What the hell? Son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, well
he abandoned Mrs. Spaz.
Football season's over, man. I've been doing other shit.
Obviously.
How you
doing, Spaz?
I'm all right. I'm just watching Ohio State lose all their coaches one by one.
We're gonna get into some of that here in a second with some news. Spaz, where can people find you if they want to stalk you? You're sexy old ass online.
Down there, Spaz Drag on Twitter, X, whatever I call it, Twitter still.
Everyone
does. Is X. Yeah, Jackson's got it. Congratulations, Jackson. You got a new OC, I see.
Oh yeah. Thanks, man.
And Spaz, I just want to say it's good to see that you've recovered nicely from the 31-0 flu.
Glad to
Hey,
see
we
it.
were wondering if it had taken you or not, if we had to. Just
Yeah, it took
checking
me
the-
away for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, we see Spaz back from after he saw his shadow on Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
been
figured
a couple
Bugsy
weeks.
Bill decided
Is it Groundhog? Is it Groundhog Day's tomorrow, right? Or is it today?
tomorrow? Is it tomorrow or
Yeah.
is it
Today's
Oh.
the 4th. I
Today's
think.
Sunday. Today was Groundhog Day.
Oh, today, yeah, it was. I guess. Huh.
Yeah,
So, any news out of Punxsutawney here?
6
I have
more
no
weeks.
every time I think of that groundhog, I'm always thinking about the Pardon Me Pete character from that Jack Frost cartoon from Rankin Bass.
See, I was thinking of the Bill. I was just
Pardon
thinking of the
me?
Bill Murray movie.
Oh yeah, Bill Murray. Yep.
Yeah,
That
that's
too.
what I was thinking of for some reason. So yeah, let's get into some news here. It's already been talked about. Grub, Alabama, getting their guy back again for the second time. This time he might stay longer than like 48 hours.
If his wife's okay with it, that'd be a win right there. Because I mean, it's like I heard his wife wasn't too happy about him being in Alabama.
If no one's been to Tuscaloosa, there's just like all of Alabama.
That's right.
There ain't a lot there. So
Didn't Grub initially come with?
yeah, for like 48 hours, he said, "I'm your OC at a basketball game,"
and then he left. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, well, got the real puff in his chest tonight. There we go. Let's go. But you know, Ben, there's some magic from the Voice College Football coming up, and that's all by becoming a YouTube member for the Voice College.
That's right. I apologize, Jackson. We have business to do. That's right.
You're good.
All right, I apologize.
But of course, for $2.99 a month, you can become an all-conference member, and in return, you get loyalty badges next to your name in the comments, in the live chat, and you can get member shout-out, member-only polls. For $4.99 a month, you can become an All-American member, and in return, you get priority replies to comments and access to VIP Hangout with Mark Rogers himself. Let me tell you something. It's a pretty fun hangout when you hang out with Mark Rogers. But you know, something you're really looking for is the Heisman tier membership for $9.99 a month, where you could give out any content request of any kind. And you could be on College Football After Dark with Exploring with Ben and Friends on Sunday nights, where you can give out your college football analysis Sunday nights here on The Voice College Football for $19.99 a month. You can get a Hall of Fame tier membership where you can get discounted merchandise from the Voice of College Football Network. $99 a month, you get VIP access to all of the top experts picks by signing into the Voice College Football Bets. And in return, you get access to Mark's picks, Steve Day's picks from the Michigan Podcast and the Steve Day Show for Blaze TV, Steve Merrill's picks from Wager Talk, and Matt Zimick from Trojans Wire, and a very, very wonderful friend of the Voice College Football. But you know, gentlemen, there's a good book that people should be looking at getting for Valentine's Day. You know what that is? The Disputed National Champions, College Football's Historical 1990s Reset, where you will learn about what happened during the 90s, how the decade changed sport, why the championship results should be questioned, how to critically think through the snares, and appreciate the accomplishments of teams that were not recognized as champions. This book provides an in-depth analysis of the changes, controversies, and outcomes that defined the decade of college football. It challenges readers to explore and critically evaluate the decisions that shaped the national championship landscape. Unlock the mysteries of college football's most debated decade. Grab your copy now. And that's not all. You can come in on Instagram where you can get some top-notch takes on college football. And you know where that is? The Voice of College Football Instagram. And let's take you there, shall we? Where you can come on in and get You can sign in, get some of the top-notch quality college football content on there. Let's see. Come on. Let's get you. Here we go. Magic is where magic happens. On the Voice of College Football, where you can give top discussion, debate, and analysis. All right here. So you can come on in, and if you want to give the Voice College Football a follow on Instagram, click on hashtag lowercase THEVOCFB on Instagram.
Damn right. Looking at that too, I did not get to watch the Senior Bowl. Did anyone get to watch it? I got to watch some highlights.
I watched a little bit of it.
I was following the practice updates a little bit. The game is usually pretty irrelevant. The practices are usually what matter.
100%. I mean, you're going to see some flubs in the game, but I'm like, dude, those guys literally have 3 practices to learn like all of that stuff.
And they're not. And the whole point of the Senior Bowl is just to see them to show off as individuals. So there's not even like a whole lot of time putting a game plan together.
Yeah.
Or working to get better as a team because no one cares.
Yeah, it's
all
you,
about the individual.
It's you being in front of not the scouts. It's actually being in front of like the GMs more so than anything too. It's about them learning who the people are and stuff like that.
And the coaches the coaches and the scouting staff and the front office get a chance to actually talk to the players and see them in person.
Yeah, and it's more about individual drills and things like that.
Yeah.
Sets and learning different, adjusting to pro style defenses and offenses. Yeah.
Or learning that Jalen Milroe has tiny hands.
Yeah. Most
Jalen Milroe had the worst senior week of all.
Yeah. Most of the scouts
he's falling behind Gabriel and
and also learning that Tez Johnson is 160 pounds. Soaking wet.
Which we already knew.
Tez Johnson?
We already knew. But he was burning corners. That was the great part.
Well, that was a similar problem with Troy Franklin last year. That's why he fell in the draft.
Yeah,
just a little light
because they're not sized. They're not big guys.
He'll go in like the 4th round, just like Franklin did, and someone will be like, "Hello," and they'll get a great guy in the 4th round. You know, I mean, like, is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll touch upon this before I forget because it was a little bit back here. Matt Ridson. That is some of the news. Yeah, Ohio State. You're losing every. I mean, hey, I don't want to say it. I saw it on Twitter earlier because everyone always joked about Oregon. Ohio State is a stepping stone program now because everyone leaving that crap. Everyone gone.
Oh man,
OCBC running backs coach.
The crazy thing is you're leaving Ohio State for Penn State and the Raiders, and taking like just a 1-to-1 change, just having the same job,
straight lateral move. Yeah.
Here's the funny thing,
and literally, like, I mean, they're both lower. You know, taking a step down. Penn State's a step down from Ohio State. I think the Raiders are like one of the worst organizations in the league.
They are one of the worst, obviously.
Pete Carroll bring them back up.
Okay, they don't have a quarterback, and there's not much of a chance they're going to get one this offseason because they don't have a pick.
Spaz, what's your cat's name? Like, we just saw his face. I couldn't hear.
That's Petra.
Petra? What up, Petra?
That's my female.
But anyway,
the Raiders have the 6th pick. I don't think they're going to be able to get it.
Who'd have thought on Halloween 09 that we would see Chip Kelly working for like Pete Carroll on the Raiders coaching staff? Like, I don't think anybody would have had this.
I did not think about that at all.
That Pete Carroll look, I still remember the look on Pete Carroll's face in 09 when Oregon whooped on him, and he was just like, I need to go to the NFL quickly. Oh yeah, seeing those two work together, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's why he's bringing him in. It's like, okay, yeah. The one guy who just embarrassed me, just undressed me in college. Yeah, he needs to be on my staff.
Yeah, Will Howard, number 6 to the Raiders. Mark it right now.
I don't think number 6. I don't think number 6. I'm sorry. There's not many quarterbacks that are going that high. Anyway, Will Howard will probably be like late first round or second round. Like Gabriel would be like fourth.
I would have a hard
think-
time. I would be spending. I would want him in like the third round. To be
I
honest,
think you're going to see the Raiders get Russell Wilson because it's like,
Why?
Dude,
oh my God!
No, good
There's
Lord,
a good
Russell
spot.
Wilson.
There's a good shot of that.
yeah,
He's a
because
free agent.
I mean, I don't see him going back. To the Steelers. They're not going. They're not going to be like, oh well, we're going to pay an ass load for Russell Wilson. I mean, this isn't like 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, if they get him for like super cheap,
Russell Wilson under Chip Kelly's offense,
maybe
Pete Carroll's system.
Yeah, because I mean,
dangerous.
like Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. I mean, they work well together. So I mean, and plus,
the Raiders have some receivers too.
oh yeah.
Yeah, but there's
who do they have besides Bowers?
Yeah.
I mean,
I know
Bowers
they got
bad to begin with.
Oh no, that's not. He's not at all. That's a. But I don't know. I think they're pretty thin outside at receiver.
Well, and the
I think
fact
I don't even know who their actual receivers are.
well, I mean, we know this. Here's the other awesome part that we're going to be seeing twice a year. What we're back to seeing, kind of like how we saw at USC Stanford from 07, 09, kind of like how we saw from 2011, 2014 with the 49ers Seahawks. We're going to be back to seeing Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh going against one another.
God, oh God,
I love it. Like the Pete Carroll Jim Harbaugh rivalry is back.
it's true.
Oh.
It's true. That's a good thing. You know what? Some of the best things. The only difference is in the NFL, you will not get the college version of taking shots. Like good old buddy Brett Bielema taking shots at Jim Harbaugh online at Michigan.
Oh man,
This is why college is the best sport. You just watch Bielema pants Shane Beamer and that fight in the bowl game, and now he's online taking shots at Michigan.
You really
love it.
When was the last time Illinois had any swag whatsoever?
Oh, it's back. It's back. Let's put it that way.
I don't think it was ever. You'd have to go back to the Rockney day or the Red Grange days. When this program had any swinging dick. Yeah.
Well, it's back and it's big and big Brett. So
yeah, I mean,
they're
swinging their 6-shooters.
Yeah,
some of the best stuff. Just calling people out online. I love it. That's the difference between professional and college. In college, we highly I always encourage coach on coach taunting. I always approve of that, but we just don't see enough of it.
No, not at all. But I love he's taking this shot at Harbaugh, who it seems like I think he's incapable of actually mounting a comeback against this guy. So there's something that feels like violence, bullying here, because I don't think Jim Harbaugh is capable of actually like responding. I don't think that's.
I don't think he probably is not allowed to. There's some like bylaw in his contract, like do not respond.
I just think he's too autistic to do it.
I don't think he doesn't look at Twitter. Are you kidding me? I don't know. Okay, so anyways, the whole point of this show for the audience So let's get to the whole point of like best and worst. So I broke it down to everyone here on the panel. We'll break it down for you in the audience, just so you kind of understand the whole point of this. Is that tonight we're doing best and worst of 2024. We are going to break it down kind of conference by conference, meaning the ACC includes Notre Dame. We're going to include the Mountain West, and that will include Washington State and Oregon State. And it'll be basically like anything, like best and worst, coaching, players, games, etc., and other such topics. We're going to try to simplify it. I just wanted to explain that because people are going to be like, you can say best and worst of 2024 and go all over the place. And Merrimack was one of the worst stories, unfortunately. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Where the Aiden Pereira for Heisman campaign didn't quite materialize, but I have a feeling we can. And Ben, you sounded like you were about to pronounce Washington like my grandmother from Tennessee.
I said I think it was Oregon State. I almost said Oregon. I kind of
Oregon State.
My grandma always pronounced that Washington, and it sounded the way you started to mesh
Oregon
those two together.
Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here, BB! Get out of here! Out of here with your nonsense.
Where's my Rutgers buddy?
Adam
Leporello.
I need to back up.
He'll be back in. He'll be back in. Yes, and everyone, we will pick our new school for next year. But Merrimack will always continue to live in our hearts. We'll have a poll on that. We'll get a poll going somewhere, and we'll figure out who we want to discuss next season of the worst of the worst.
We should do bracket night on the Voice of College Football.
To pick the worst of the worst.
The top 32 teams and then the bottom 32.
God.
That'd be a good bracket night, Ben, though. Seriously.
No, I've been offline for the last week. I don't want to deal with any of the bracket night stuff. So let's
why you been offline?
Because I want to be. Why have you been offline, Spaz? Because you want to be. So shut up. Shut up. All right, let's get into this. Best and the worst. You gentlemen can pick where to go, but we will start with the ACC. I think the worst is obviously we can eliminate FSU from the topic because that was by far the worst you've ever seen. That's generationally bad.
But why am I seeing the ACC crash tonight all over? Yeah. Did the ACC fold tonight? Or is that just shit talking?
Wait, what, in their contract dispute?
I don't know. I just seen a couple right before you begged me to come on this show.
Well, I know the ACC just had ESPN back up their deal until 2036, I believe, where their contract ends. And so now they're doing a realignment of finances to support more Miami, Clemson, and Florida State.
Does that mean
because Florida State thinks they're a powerhouse and needs to get paid more money, even though they're literally a joke.
Florida State has basically been like the hot girl with mental issues, where they slash your tire and they cry 5 seconds later. I mean that like all the off season was, we're gonna leave you, we're gonna leave you, we're gonna leave you, we're so gonna and leave you. Me and my girlfriend's been talking, we're gonna leave you. And then that carried on over to Ireland as Georgia Tech Boston College got smacked off the face of the earth.
Note that game. Thank you, Jackson. That game might be one of my ACC games of the year. It broke. So
does that
Florida
mean we're
State.
still getting the ACC network?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, ESPN is financing.
Because I was confused by that.
Yeah, ESPN is financing some of the downfall or whatever, but because Florida State, Clemson, and Miami wanted more money.
The Florida State team was.
Yeah. The Florida State team was disastrous. They were the worst. I mean, hands down, they were the worst.
Worst team in the ACC this year. Yeah,
he's Power 4.
No brainer.
I give Purdue more credit than Florida State. Florida State was a joke.
Yeah, because it is.
Well, they were 10th preseason poll, 10th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has been a long time since a team picked to be in the top 10 was that hideous. I mean, just crashed that hard.
Yeah, you might see like a number 10 preseason, maybe go like 7-5 or 8-4,
or even like 5-7, even miss out a bowl game, like kind of struggle.
2-9, 2-9,
Yeah.
2-10, 2-10,
2-10. Sorry, I'm sorry.
One of their 2 wins was over a 1-11 Charleston Southern.
Yeah, it was like Charleston Southern, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
and then somehow they beat Cal. Somehow Cal. This was the Cal special in the ACC this year. Right in there all the way through several games, and then blew it at the very end because Cal should have beat them.
We'll be talking more about Cal in a moment.
Oh yeah.
So, which was more of an embarrassment for the ACC, Florida State's crash or the entire postseason for the league?
Ooh, that's a good question. That is a good question. What did the ACC do? Like 2-6 in the postseason?
Yeah, I think they were 2-11.
Yeah,
and one of the wins really almost shouldn't count because it was Syracuse playing a Washington State cast of scrubs.
Yeah,
that's true, and that's true. I credit Washington State because I thought that was going to be an absolute drubbing. And the first half, Washington State showed up and actually played really well. But the ACC's postseason record was a big
SMU completely undressed themselves in the first round of the playoff.
Anyway, Florida State for me was the worst because I mean it was like every week it was something like the off season was like how we're gonna leave the ACC, and then week 0 they lose in Ireland to Georgia Tech, and then week 1 Labor Day there's that weird dude that's like saying, "Oh, if we lose to Boston College, then I'm going to eat dog shit out of a red Solo cup." 4 days later, Boston College beats Florida State, and that guy never eats the dog poop off the red Solo cup.
I'm still thinking of that guy that held up a sign that in Dublin that said, "I told my boss I was sick. Don't rat me out."
The legend, yes.
But he went through that. He risked his livelihood for this team. I mean,
this is exactly why. This is why people don't understand why I don't go to games a lot, because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pay a ton of money, travel, get there, all the expenses to watch my team lose. No, I'll sit at home comfortably, watch it, and then do the live post game and cry. But I won't spend any money, so I'm happy. I don't have to deal with the stress and the expense. I did it with Texas Tech last year, and we won. And then I got to walk back again last year. I got to walk 5 miles back from the stadium to the Airbnb. That's what I got out of last year's game, and that stress, even though we won. So I mean,
we haven't talked much on this show ever about attending live games. They are an enormous pain in the ass.
Oh, it is.
I mean, it's brutal. What?
Attending games live?
Yeah, the logistics of sorting yourself out, like transportation, lodging, and then you have to walk through a sea of 100,000 people at the end of the game to try to get out of the stadium. It takes you sometimes like 45 minutes or something just to get out of the stadium. Sometimes, if it's a good game and everyone stays.
Yeah, even if it's I don't know what you're talking about. I enjoy it.
Well, no. I enjoy it too. I do, but there are some headaches associated with attending games,
what's the
especially
headache?
big.
You know what the biggest headache is when you're not from there particularly. Like you're from there, but you don't like live in that city or whatnot.
Yeah.
So you don't really know the parameters, and then you go in at daytime and you come out at nighttime.
That's, I think, part of it is because, like, I've never been to Texas Tech, so when I went there,
always
we didn't know
fucks
the
me up.
procedures of how they do after the game of shutting down roadways
Texas.
around and nothing's available. But as Jason says here too, when you're there, and it's like the guy is standing there on the field with a little like 2.5 minute timer, like we're on a break. And I'm like, I thought it was a 30-second timeout. How do we get to 2.5 minutes?
Listen, I'm saying it is definitely worth it, but there are a lot of pains in the ass.
Oh, the first game I went to this year, when it got to night, I was leaving the stadium, and I'm like, oh, I know where to go. Fuck, went out the wrong exit. Thought I was going in the same one I came in. Come to find out, I was on the other end of the stadium and shit, and I don't know the roads. So I start walking this way, and I'm like, I don't know where I just know the street that the car's on. And I'm thinking, this looks familiar. In Eugene.
Oh, in Eugene?
Yeah. So it's dark, and I don't know the streets because I don't live down there. So I start walking, and I'm thinking, oh, it's only a couple of blocks this way. And I'm walking, and I'm like, motherfucker. Finally, I ask a cop. I said, hey, can you tell me where such and such street is? I'm trying to find my car. Oh, yeah, it's back that way about 6 blocks.
Well, that's why Spaz. You know exactly. This is my point. It's kind of like, I trust me. I want to go to more games, but like the Texas Tech one, I left. I didn't know the area. I didn't know it. We had the Airbnb. It was like 5-6 miles from there. Well, I didn't know they shut down the roadway for like 2 miles around the stadium. You couldn't get a lift. My signal was shit. So for the post game, I'm trying to text these guys. I had to like send again like 5 times just to get it through to be like, hey, I'm on my way. Walking back, and I think we went live 2 hours after the game. 2
hours later, yeah.
Because it took me that long to walk through everything and get all the way back to the Airbnb. You know, I was like, yeah,
well,
this is shit.
That bad. But they tell
you don't want to be. Lubbock is one place you definitely don't want to be lost in, because wherever you are, everything looks the same. It's just there are no landmarks that can help.
The same way, but at nighttime you can't tell which direction is which.
Yeah,
unless you literally know.
I mean, yeah, going to Texas Tech, going to Lubbock, it was not bad. I'd use flyer miles, free flight for both me and Sam. Airbnb cheap, game not bad for getting 9th row at the 40-yard line. Not bad at all. I mean, it cost us a total of literally maybe $500. Not bad to fly to Lubbock, Airbnb in 40-yard line 9th row ticket. Not bad at all. But just the hassle of it all is just.
I went into Lubbock. I went to Lubbock one time. I think I flew into Midland, which is like 2 hours away, 2.5.
I lived in Midland.
Like that was the closest flight I could get to Lubbock. I had to take a taxi that cost like $250.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's still a couple hours. Yeah, still a couple hours.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, all right, let's backtrack here. So Florida State sucks ass. We know that they're the worst by far. This is kind of where you get into this coaching. If you want to go into the best, Florida State obviously worst team. The best team when you go into coaching, you got kind of a stalemate to a degree. You have a newcomer in Fran Brown with Syracuse. Did an amazing job with Kyle McCord.
Nice recruiter.
You have Mario Cristobal, who actually did stuff, but does what Mario does and loses games that they shouldn't, because one side of the ball sucks.
No, he's excluded from this conversation. Let's just
all right. We'll toss Cristobal out of there. That's fine. We'll toss Cristobal. So then you got Dabo Sweeney, who ended up winning the conference.
Wait a minute, you're saying that Mario Cristobal's not a good coach?
Shut up, Spaz. we can talk all the crap we want about him. He was our coach. And then you have Lashley though with SMU. I mean, you're kind of and even Braum, and you have Georgia Tech. You got Manny Diaz with Duke. There's a kind of a tie at the top a little bit when it comes to like best like coaching decisions or choices in the ACC this year. It's been it's kind of tough.
The coach in this league that I think has the brightest future easily in my mind is Fran Brown at Syracuse. I think what he's done with that, not only just the results this year, but I think the way he's transforming that program into something that, well, like we were talking about Illinois having a little bit of swag. Syracuse, one of the least swaggy places in the country.
Oh God, no! Yeah, Syracuse.
Like this place is just such a difficult place to win at, and he's improving the recruiting, improving the talent development, and I mean, I don't know how long he's going to be at Syracuse, but it seems like he's setting them up for actual long-term success. Whereas I think Lashley, maybe this is a little bit more ephemeral. Maybe this program is just kind of on an up, at a crest right now, and they'll fall backwards.
Do you think Brett Lashley would consider taking the Arkansas job? Like, because on account of it being an alma mater, like,
does Arkansas dare go back to SMU for a head coach after Chad Morris?
After the fake punt, remember the fake punt return or whatever it was? The fake hair signal return. That was the most embarrassing thing of that tenure for Chad Morris.
Well, here's the difference, though. Brett Lashley got SMU a conference title in not one, but two conferences. With Chad Morris, they didn't even come close to
no, they didn't get a conference title in the ACC this year.
Well, he got him there. Like
they didn't get it.
Sorry, my bad. Like he got him there.
Right. Okay.
Two. I had a quick mind flip. I was like, SMU and conferences. Hold on.
Yeah. No, they weren't
in 2023. Their last year there, but again, 2024 they lost. But it's like
Well, and that's something we're going to talk about later on. I'll bring it back up. But what Lashley did with SMU was, and people say they didn't have the toughest schedule. It's the same as Indiana. Guess what? They play the schedule that's in front of them, and for the most part, they whooped everyone's ass. They lost to what turns out to be a very good BYU team by 3 or 4, and they lost the title game by 3 or 4. So I mean, what more do you want from a team?
It was a very impressive season, no matter how you slice it.
Oh, yeah. And it was funny though, like week 0 when SMU had a sloppy win against Nevada, everybody was talking about that game like their season was over or something. It's like, oh, they're not going to last long in the ACC, or they suck. But then they lost BYU. It was, oh, well, they're not going to last long. But then they run through that whole schedule.
Yeah,
they run through it.
Same thing. That's why I have it as Lashley personally for me or Brown as the best coaching jobs, because Braum did a good job as usual, but they had inexplicable losses to like Stanford, for instance. I mean, how do you beat Clemson and lose to Stanford? Shout out to the trees, our nerd tree friends.
Yeah,
you just don't do that. I'm sorry.
Nate, go away.
Well, nobody brings their A game against Stanford, but everybody brings their A game against Miami.
Yeah, but that's embarrassing, though.
It was just like, my God, like the way Miami played this whole season, which, I mean, again, yeah, it was impressive that that's the closest that they've been to a conference title game for the second time since they joined the ACC.
That's why I don't. Yeah, that's why I think. Yeah, I agree with Sean. Cristobal has got to be out completely because Miami has not made an ACC title game in 20. What is it now? 21, 22 years since they joined. 20.
Well, they made it in 2017.
2017.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Manny. That was Manny. Was that Manny Diaz?
That was Manny Diaz.
Was that Rick? Okay, that was Rick.
Rick was there in his second year, but then retired after 2018.
So they have, but the point is they have not won the ACC. I know they haven't won the ACC period. So that's why it's like,
Yeah. If somebody would have told you when they made that switch from the Big East to the ACC, hey, it's 2025 and Miami still hasn't won the ACC yet. Who would have believed you?
Oh, and
you know what,
rubbing the Cristobal.
I gotta be honest. Like, if Miami does think about convincing Mark Cristobal to leave Miami, here's who they ought to get: Fran Brown. Fran Brown knows how to win big games compared to Cristobal.
Man.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Miami.
I'll be interested to see Fran Brown's career because I think he is a Northeast guy. I think he's committed to, at least in theory, to bringing back a power to that part of the country. I think I think that's where his roots are. But you know what? If he continues to do what he's been doing, someone's coming. Yeah. Unless a lot of Wall Street money starts flowing into Rutgers or something, he's probably headed out of that region.
It's true. Let's touch real quick on you can say worst or best also in sense of players. Worst DJU. We don't need to talk about it.
Ouch.
Which we love. We love the ukulele. I can't even pronounce her name still. We love it because we have his brother Mateo. We love him. We love his
brother on your team.
Yeah, we love him. Mateo. We call him Mateo.
Yeah.
But yeah, DJ it just didn't pan out. It was awful. Best player in the ACC though. Ooh, this is a tough one. To me, obviously you can say Cam Ward for what he does. Kyle McCord for what he did at Syracuse. I'm going to go Haynes King. I'm going Haynes King at Georgia Tech.
What is one of the better players?
Definitely one of the better damn players in the conference.
Yeah, he was okay.
I'm going Cam Ward on this. I thought
what a sellout.
Miami had a crap. I mean, he was that team this year. It was just
Cam Ward, Restrepo, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I said it was too easy.
Martinez, and he didn't do shit. What did he have? 500 yards.
Yeah, well, that's why I said it's too easy to pick Cam Ward. In a way. That's why I was like, okay, let's
too easy because he obviously was the best player in the conference. Yes.
I'm talking ball here, son. Son. I don't know where that came from. That just kind of like flowed out of me unnaturally. Anyways.
McCord for me. I mean, I was thinking about, do I go McCord or do I go Cam Ward? I'm going to go
back player maybe for McCord.
Yeah, because I mean, McCord was a magician for Syracuse this season.
Well, from what you saw at Ohio State with him last year to this year at Syracuse, you were like, damn. Like,
that's why
did no one just unleash him or something, or what was going on? Because you could see he could throw the ball.
You know the funny thing is, if you look at a lot of his metrics, he averaged like 1.2, 1.3 yards attempting more at Ohio State than he did at Syracuse. They threw the ball around a crap load. I mean, they threw the ball as much as anyone in the country at Syracuse. So he put up like video game numbers. I mean, He
this
put
is a
him
good
him in this offense was basically like those old Texas Tech quarterbacks. Like you watch them and they lead the nation in the 2000s. They led the nation in passing by 1,200-1,500 yards above the next person. It's just because of the way they play. He was good this year. He was fine, but I mean,
well, he was pretty damn good. He was pretty damn good. I'll say that. I mean, the point is, it was a great year for McCord. Mark makes a good point here too. Tyler Shuck, me and Spaz know Tyler Shuck pretty well.
Can we stay on topic here?
It is Tyler Shuck is at Louisville. So it's the ACC,
wow.
you idiot.
Okay.
He was at Louisville, so we're on topic here. Tyler Shuck also had a good year.
The 5 other schools that he played for.
Yeah,
I was confused because I was still thinking he was at Texas Tech for a minute.
Yeah, no, he's this year. Now he was in the Senior Bowl playing earlier. Yesterday,
and he threw an interception just like Tyler Shuck does.
Yeah. So then Tyler Shuck had a decent year though. I will say that Louisville had a good year, 9-4. Not bad. Not bad.
Tyler Shuck brings a new meaning to the term Senior Bowl, doesn't he?
I watched the Senior Bowl for like 2 minutes, and I seen like 3 offensive plays. You know what? One of them was Tyler Shuck throwing an interception. I was like, I'm turning this shit off.
I didn't even get that far.
I had 3 offensive plays, and one of them's Tyler Shuck throwing an interception. I'm done.
Yeah, I didn't even get that far. So
Horrible.
Are we going to go then with player? What was the player? What are the decisions? We got Cam Ward, McCord, or
McCord.
It's not.
It's Cam Ward.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna. I'm just gonna break it. I'm not gonna tie this up. So we'll go with Cam Ward. I'll just agree to end this conversation.
Yeah.
Next conference, we're going to be here for 5 hours.
I know.
Yeah.
SEC, let's go. Jackson, where do you want to start? The worst or the best of the SEC? Because let's
get it out of the way. Let's start with
this will be interesting.
This one could get a little heated in conversation because the SEC, I think this is maybe the hardest to pick the best and the worst. This one's pretty heavy.
Because it's a pretty even conference. That's why.
Yeah, everything kind of balanced out where it's like
how many teams are in there, Jackson? 16?
16.
Okay, so 12 of those teams are probably can be top or bottom or mid-level on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
And then you have about 4 teams that are just utter dog shit unless a nuclear bomb strikes.
Yeah, I'll tell you that.
But a lot of those teams do rise up. Like Vanderbilt had a season this year. I mean,
and Vanderbilt's usually one of those like 4 teams that unless a nuclear bomb goes off, they don't do shit.
That's
Who
why
would be the other 3, Jackson?
If I have to look at
Kentucky,
the SEC this
Kentucky's been better recently, but.
Yeah, Kentucky took a nosedive this year. Sorry, Darrell. I know
they've been better as a program recently over the last decade, I guess. Than they were.
Well, then Rich Brooks left, and now they can't figure it out.
Rich Brooks, like in 2003 or whatever.
God, that's been a while. He literally, all he does now is post online about vacations and golfing.
Yep.
I follow Rich Brooks. It's just golfing and vacation.
Sean, 89 today at Happy Valley.
Hey,
well, damn,
he deserves it. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. There's my F-bomb. Got it out of the way.
Well, I mean, Rich Brooks really is an old man. He's bragging about golfing and stuff on social media.
Well, when he shot in 89, was that above or below his age?
Just above.
Way
I think he's only like 76.
Oh yeah, he's mid-70s. I mean, definitely, he's got to be mid-70s.
Oh damn! That's kind of wild. He's about the same age as Nick Saban.
You don't want to be talking about.
He's been on coaching for like 20 years.
Come on.
Yeah, but he's active.
He's 83.
Oh, 82. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, never mind. Then give respect to that. Give respect to 83-year-old Rich Brooks, Sean. How dare you?
I mean, he was the guy that basically got Oregon football going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He built
Oregon
the foundation.
football was dead till Rich Brooks showed up. He started the rebuild process.
So as Jackson, as the SEC, this is why I said the SEC is probably the hardest one to do, because it's like you have so many teams like at the top, but most of the teams are kind of in the mid range. And if I argue something for coaches,
I've got.
I know this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough to hear. Hold on. This is going to be tough to hear. Vanderbilt.
Maybe
some of the best coaching to build that program kind of back up. Sure. And obviously Beamer, South Carolina, as they started to roll at the end there. Maybe some of the better coaching jobs that were done this year in the SEC. Maybe I could be wrong. Well, it's not Oklahoma. If you say Oklahoma, I will come whoop your ass personally. It's not Venables.
I think those have to be the top two, right? Unless you're going to give Sark credit for like just building the program.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of avoiding the top teams. I'm going like the best actual coaching jobs.
I want to know who Jackson's been a lifelong SEC. Who are like the 4 worst teams on a regular average basis?
Well, obviously Vanderbilt doesn't do so well, but they did all right this year.
Right.
Mississippi State.
Kentucky. Mississippi State, I mean, they're basically like the Detroit Lions of the SEC. They never can have anything nice. And when they have something nice, it just gets taken away from by fate somehow.
Dan Mullen, yeah.
And they had Mike Leach, and then he passed away 2022. Rest in peace to the Pirate. 1941 was the last time they won a conference title, but a matter of fact, that was the year that Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. So it's like Mississippi State really cannot have anything nice whatsoever. I mean, you want to talk about a bad luck team? That's Mississippi State right there.
Yeah, what they did after Mike Leach passed, again, yeah, Pirate, we love him, especially from the Pac-12. Miss you, but what they did to that team, allowing to hire who was he? He was he was the defense coordinator.
Zach on that. He was the defensive coordinator for.
Yeah, he was the defensive coordinator.
And he get your ass in here. Don't be hanging out and chat.
But
get in here.
He just destroyed that team, like in the offensive nature they were built. Just destroyed it, and they have not recovered, like at all. Yeah. Like just Jesus.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'll be interesting. Jeff Lebby year too. I thought the team acquitted itself okay this year. I mean, they were overmatched by everyone they played. But they didn't continue. They weren't losing a lot of games 52-7 or that kind of stuff.
Well, they got smacked off the face of the earth in their home field by Toledo.
That did happen. That really did. That was early in the year, but that was early in the year though. So I'll give them some grace there. They were competitive in most.
Can I give you my biggest mid card SEC team of all time? Hands down. And I bet Jackson will agree 100% with me. Those dastardly Aggies of Texas A&M. They get right there and then they fall off, and they get right there and they fall off, and we're going to win the title and the Heisman, and they fall off.
The last
every year.
I agree.
And credit also though.
They have to rank as the least efficient program in dollars spent per win.
It's true
in the country.
That is true. This was Elko's first year. They won a
conference title since 1998
in the Big 12. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Look, it was Elko's first year. Now, can he keep up that momentum?
my favorite line is my buddy on Twitter is a big A&M fan, and all year he kept saying, "Y'all are gonna learn Elko. Y'all are gonna learn Elko." And at the end of the year, all we could tell him was, "Oh, did you learn some DeBoer? And what was? Oh, yeah, that's right. You learned some Riley in the."
Oh God.
In
Yeah,
the year.
that's
He-
embarrassing. That's
and
embarrassing.
he just lost his shit.
I mean,
All year this guy was
Sounds like
talking.
one of the bomb callers that was.
I'll give A&M some credit. They did go
in.
into the last week of the season playing for a chance to go to the SEC championship.
That's why I say they're the biggest mid fake in the SEC ever, because they always get right there and at the
then they get absolutely whitewashed by Texas, and then the next week, not next week, but in the bowl season, USC.
They pissed shattered to Lincoln Riley, who's playing with half a scholarship team in the bowl game.
And I don't want to. We're gonna get to Lincoln Riley, but A&M, I agree, they're kind of that mid team. But it was Elko's first season, so I'll give him some credit for hanging in there. But then they just kind of dropped off. But to lose to Lincoln Riley, who literally had like 10 starters in the transfer portal in a bowl game, that's embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely embarrassing. That's why he looked lost on the sideline. He was like, Elko just looked confused. Like, what is happening right now?
There's another mid team in the SEC, LSU. They have not won their opening non-conference game in quite a while. Not in this decade. I mean, my God.
Yep. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. both Brian Kelly and Elko embarrassed to lose to Lincoln Riley.
Well, Elko's a little better because he won it, dude. Brian Kelly can't even win the big one. I mean, yeah, he won.
Oh, and since he's here on panel now,
are we backtracking to the ACC? This is why this will last 5 hours, because now we're backtracking to another conference we already finished with.
The biggest mid card team in the ACC has got to be the Louisville Cardinals.
All right, Spaz. Listen here, Spaz. Spaz, you know we share a brotherhood in Dallas Cowboy love, so I'm going to let that slide. I'm going to let it slide. We all know Florida State is the mid card of the ACC.
No, they're the dumpster fire right now. You elevated to the mid card. You guys used to be the dumpster fire of the ACC.
I wouldn't say that.
You moved up a tier. You passed Florida State. You moved up a tier.
I'll say this: we're closer than we're ever going to get. I think to winning the whole thing. Our best chances are ahead of us.
Well. Let's hope for your fans' sake that happens.
I hope so too, Spaz.
Who'd you guys get for your portal QB this year?
Miller Moss from USC.
Miller Moss. I rest my case.
Yeah. So
listen.
Saying like which 26-year-old at his fifth school does Louisville have this year? So
they got Miller Moss.
Yeah, I know.
Listen. I'm going to stick up for this real fast. Ben, don't crucify me, but I'm going to go on a tangent here. Listen, Jeff Brom is a quarterback whisperer. Look at his track record at Purdue. Look at his track record the last 2 years at Louisville. I rest my case.
All I seen out of Tyler Shuck was interceptions.
Listen.
Even in the Senior Bowl.
Listen, Jeff Brom made Jack Plummer look like a top 25 quarterback. That's some magic.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh, man. But I will say we can agree though.
He got David Blau into the NFL, so that's pretty impressive.
Oh man.
Okay, Austin, who's your bottom dweller or mid card of the SEC?
SEC.
So, obviously, the bottom is Kentucky, Mississippi State, and then I would throw. Those are the two that stick out, and then the best is Georgia, and then probably Texas and Alabama. I flip flop on them.
Okay. Since Ben's not here, can we move this conversation along? Can we get to like the best coach and player here?
Of the year?
Yeah. Who is the coach of the SEC this year, in your opinion? I think it's
I almost got to say Billy Napier.
That's actually that's kind of unconventional, but I actually kind of agree with you. I felt like I didn't think there was a coach. I didn't think there was.
None of us thought he was making it past week 6.
No, I didn't think there was a coach in the country who came into a worse situation, a more uncomfortable one than him this year.
So I have a strong case for Mike Elko to be coach of the year, and here's why. He was one goal line.
No, you don't.
Yes,
we were just talking about that. We just buried him.
Listen. No. Listen. He almost had Texas A&M playing for the SEC championship. If they knew how to run a better offense, they would have beaten Texas. But Texas goal line defense stood up again.
Well, that's like how we were just saying. Texas A&M is like that girlfriend you get right there to the climax every time, and then you just can't get her over the edge because you go limp.
Oh God!
And that's Texas A&M every year.
You
go right there. And then,
what are you talking about?
I was going to say I have a feeling
I have no experience with what you're discussing here. I cannot empathize.
Well, I mean, what did Elko do? He got him right there, and then off the ledge they went.
No, he did a good job, and I think he's a good coach for them in the future. But this was a team that had reasonably high expectations this year, and they kind of came close to them, but they didn't. Florida had no expectations whatsoever. Florida won 3 games this year. If Florida won 3 games this year, nobody would have been surprised. Nobody would have been.
Yeah, who on this panel had him even there after 6 weeks? We all thought he would have been gone.
No, we all said
year had him there halfway. We didn't think he would survive the year.
Now I'm going to take you back to the offseason. When I said Florida was going to go 8-4, I was the crazy one. I'm going to take credit for that. Remember that?
Oh, you said they would go 8-4?
Yes.
All right. We got to keep tracks of these things, because then we can give people their kudos, man.
Yeah, that's a fair thing too, because I mean,
that's a ballsy pick at the beginning of the year.
And I can back Austin up. Yeah, he did call him that, and I said he was out of his goddamn mind.
Right?
And that's a fair assumption, because especially after they were like, "Hey, we're keeping Napier," they get absolutely destroyed by Texas, but that was without Lagway. They come back and they go on this run of games. It was like, oh, okay, maybe they made the right decision.
What, they win like 6 of their last 7 games or some shit?
They won the last, I believe it was 3 or 4 in a row, Jackson.
4
in a row.
Yeah, because I remember the Texas game. All we heard about
was they kept Ole Miss out of the playoffs.
Yeah, they embarrassed Ole Miss. They made Jackson Dart cry on the sideline twice in one drive.
Oh, you want to talk about a team that comes up short? The Ole Miss Rebels Like they were losing to Kentucky of all teams, and
Lane Kiffin.
they wimped out of that USC home and home from 2005 2026 because like, oh well, we gotta make our schedule look a little easy. Whatever. Okay. I mean,
And it bit them in the butt.
It's just not speak to me for a while. Because like we were robbed of the Lane Kiffin returns to LA storyline. That's what I'm so mad about. But like
it's the Lane Kiffin effect, man. Everywhere he goes, he touches it. It starts out hot and then it gets real cold.
Well,
And here's the thing.
Georgia.
It was like his Twitter account on December 20th. Like he just hot, gets to about like 8:30 and then boom.
Silence.
And here's the thing too. And Lane Kiffin wants to complain about not being in the playoffs this year. Well, guess what, Lane? You don't lose to Kentucky, you're more than likely going to get one of them spots. And SMU, you wouldn't be having to root against SMU and all these teams on your Twitter handle and crying about it.
That's right.
And Austin, what is something that I always tell people?
There's a couple things, but your big one is, never put yourself in a situation where you need someone to win or lose for you.
Exactly.
That's the game. That's called sports in general, but especially with football, with the playoffs or any of that, it's like, do not, like the end of the game, if you're better than the other team, do not let the refs decide the game for you by a call, and don't have to worry about someone else losing to make it. And that's why, like what you said, Sean, especially after Texas lost, I was like, in the playoffs, after Texas lost, I was like this, wow, I haven't heard from Kiffin lately. Is he okay? Someone do a check-in on him. His Twitter's been awfully quiet about.
The other thing Jackson always talks about is like, if the bathwater gets dirty, just throw everything out. Don't even check to see what's in it. Right?
I always say don't throw the baby out with the bathwater when people are getting way too anxious to want to get rid of somebody the moment one bad thing happens.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing. And that's what most of us here don't do. We don't overreact to it. And I know that there's the 50% of college football fans who immediately just lose their shit over everything. And then there's us that look at it.
And honestly, I think we need more of those people on this show. To be honest, I think we might be a little bit too level-headed here on this.
Well, if you want some fan bases that might lose their shit or are going to, and I actually thought it was going to happen this offseason. We were maybe this close as we look at the Big 12, where I thought Deion Sanders was going to take the Cowboys job, and you would have seen Colorado just disappear into the ethers of college football.
You wouldn't see Cedric the Entertainer go to Colorado games for sure.
Might I add, like, the Cowboys hiring of Brian Schottenheimer, this has to be like one of the 3 or 4 most pathetic hirings.
Lackluster. Let's put it that way.
Just like anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I'll say
Deion Sanders.
I'll say this though. It doesn't rank as high as what the Dallas Mavericks just pulled last night.
Oh yeah. Austin and I were talking about it last night.
That was the dumbest.
The Metro Plus has to be
professional history.
Well, one thing to remember, even though Mark Cuban is
Dallas has it on both ends now. They got the worst NFL decision and the worst NBA decision.
Did you see the tweet from DeLuca? Did you see the tweet from DeLuca showing the missed calls from the GM or whatever? Like 10 missed calls. He was just like,
"Yes,
dude, I'm out."
I wonder why he ignored those calls.
One thing to remember.
Oh my God! Like, did that actually go through that Doncic trade?
Yes, it was officially legit this morning.
Well, I gotta say
by 10 a.m.
Oh my goodness! I saw that. Like, what? Huh?
All physicals were passed this morning.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, Spaz, one thing to remember.
He might be the best player that's ever been traded, ever in the history of sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing to remember about the Mavericks and one thing to remember about Mark Cuban is that, like, a few years back, Mark Cuban, and I'm not one of the biggest fans of him, but he did say he wants to keep Luka Doncic at the Mavericks more than anything. But that was when he was the majority owner. But now he's the minority owner. He owns 27% of the team.
Yeah.
And guess who owns
No. This would never, ever in a million years happen if Cuban was in charge. No, not a chance.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, like Patrick Dumont, and I was doing a little research on this Dumont fella. He's married to the daughter of Miriam Adelson, whoever that is.
Miriam Adelson, no, she's Sheldon Adelson's wife. She is worth like hundreds of billions of dollars, or like $100 billion or something. Huge hotel and casino magnate in Vegas.
Well, I do address this from ALC. Multiple comments here. Yes, no, it's definitely not. This is 3 years of this live stream. We just have different times. There's, I can talk. Sean will hear it a second later. He'll start talking. I'm still talking, and you have an overlap sometimes. So this is what open panels do. So we appreciate you being here. But yeah, it does happen time to time. We try to avoid it. So appreciate the critique, though. You know what? The critiques make shows better. So I appreciate it. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I appreciate the critiquing. It happens. But the Big 12, because otherwise, again, we're going to go on 5 fucking hours. There's 2 if you're counting at home. 2. I mean, I think it's pretty easy. Best coaching, Kenny Dillingham.
Oh, great.
Worst, Mike Gundy.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, that's easy. No brain pick there.
Yeah, I mean, like the funny thing was Oklahoma State was one of the and matter of fact, and this is something that I put out on Twitter on @/Twitter a few months back, and I went over one of my top 10 most overhyped teams for the 2020 football season. And I put Oklahoma State on that list, and I figured they were overhyped to the point where they wouldn't make the Big 12 title game. I just didn't think they'd go 3-9. Matter of fact, nobody did. I mean, like, they beat Arkansas week 2. Everybody's got throwing the cart in before the horse because, like, oh, Oklahoma State beat the SEC team, but then they let it get to their head apparently because it was like they were losing every week. Like, my God, that was just
it seemed like the team just sort of like psychologically fell off at a point where you just expected them to get blown out every week because they just had given up. It was. I mean, I don't know. The team broke.
Is it a culture?
The team broke fairly early this season to a point where they're like, okay, we didn't accomplish what we wanted to this year. We're done. We're out.
And I feel bad for Ollie Gordon coming back.
Yeah,
he could have left last year.
Killed his draft stock.
Yeah, it hurt a lot. And
he's
could have left last year and been a day 2 pick, and now I mean, like, who knows what's going to happen to him?
He might be day 3 pick, day 4.
Yeah, he'll probably be day 3.
Yeah. There's no day 4, but
4.
There's no day 4, but that's undrafted. But
now the biggest abomination, the biggest.
Let Austin speak here. Hold on.
Yeah, what's up?
I was just gonna say real fast, Ben, on the best coach of the year. I know Kenny Dillingham is probably everyone's unanimous pick, but are we gonna give Matt Campbell a little props, taking Iowa State to the first ever Big 12 title game in history and first 11-win season in history?
Well, he did take them to the Big 12 title in 2020. So it's like that's their second ever Big 12 title in school history.
I was like, but no, definitely I give him props because Matt Campbell
He
kind
gets
of
a couple
fell off.
points.
He fell off the rails.
Dion gets a couple of points for going 9.
Yeah, I mean, with Matt Campbell specifically, that was when I think he should have left Iowa State, but he seems to be happy there because they had several down years, but then he's brought him back, and so he's a hot name again. And so, yeah, no, he deserves. Kalani Sitake, hello, can we talk about one of the quietest 11-2 seasons? You know, Kalani Sitake don't get any love at BYU.
Oh man, like that smacking they pulled on Colorado in the Alamo Bowl.
I'm sorry, they beat up on the nation's best receiver and defensive back and Heisman winner. I'm sorry. Can we address that really quickly?
Absolutely.
Travis Hunter should not have won the Heisman. And if he did, he definitely shouldn't have won the best receiver and best defensive back in the country. No, bullshit. I'm sorry. You are not the best receiver in the country, and you are not the best defensive back. So bullshit. All that did was bolster a Heisman campaign that was fraudulent. I'm sorry, bullshit.
I might give him the best one of the best defensive.
All those postseason awards are BS, though. I mean, they're all marketing. They're all marketing. They're all a product of like which university's SID worked the hardest to promote the guy.
Well, Colorado did a damn good job. This has been 2 years in a row, though. It's been building, but it's like you are not the best receiver and you are not the best defensive back. I'm sorry. That does not equal you then winning both those and the high. I'm sorry. It just doesn't happen. And snap counts are not a stat.
Can we admit, though, that if he was the best receiver and the best defensive back, then he should win the Heisman?
Yes.
If he was, yeah.
Okay.
Here's my thing, too, guys. Every now and then, as athletes, you're allowed to have a night off. Could that have been what it was? He just had a bad night. Maybe his head wasn't in the right place. Like we shouldn't have to move the goalpost because he's Travis Hunter. Because look at Ohio State. They had a bad night against Michigan, but what happened? They parlayed that into the playoffs and won the whole thing.
Well, and none of their receivers won the best receiver award either. So,
and they had the best receiver in the country.
Yeah, or best defensive back.
At least, at least top 3 receiver in the country.
Yeah, so that's the point. That's kind
of
as
a true freshman. Thank you.
I don't buy it. It was all hype, and stuff.
Yeah,
like
Travis Hunter was not the best receiver in the country. Sorry.
Yeah, I do feel like he deserved the Heisman. I do feel like playing that many snaps and playing at the level he did on both sides of the ball.
Not a stat. It's not a stat.
I mean, it's not really, a stat, but it's exceptionally hard to have that kind of an impact.
It's very rare. It's very rare.
He was an elite player at both positions.
He won it on rarity. I'll give you that.
Yeah, here's the novelty of what he did. And exactly. He's kind of a new age, marketing genius. He brought a lot of attention to himself by committing to a historically black school as the number 1 player in the country. And he went to an FCS school as the number 1 recruit in the country. That's going to draw some eyeballs, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he follows the biggest hype train we've seen in recent years.
And people are not giving Dion much recruiting credit, but think about what you just said right there, Sean.
Yeah.
He got the number 1 talent in the country coming out of high school to commit to an FCS team.
Yep.
And then to follow him. Exactly. Yep. So the hype that Dion can't recruit, I don't know that I'd buy that.
I don't know. I mean, look, Travis Hunter is obviously he's an amazing athlete. He's a talent. Obviously, that's no one can deny that. But winning best receiver and best defensive back,
No.
that to me was ridiculous. And I'm not even saying who should have won it, but to me that was just kind of ridiculous. You know,
No.
that's
But I think we can admit, like, he's a rare special athlete, a special player.
Yes.
I think, like it's not an embarrassment that he's a high. Jason White at Oklahoma, that's an embarrassment of a Heisman Trophy winner. You know,
Dark Ducky, goddammit, Dark Ducky.
Well, and here's the thing too. Does Colorado win 9 games without Travis Hunter?
no.
No. 7.
7 or 8, yeah, 7 or 8. I mean, Travis Hunter's probably different in one of those games.
Because Ben, I know you're giving him a lot of flack, but he's that type of generational talent. He can flip a game on his head that fast, like on his own.
And by not even really, he doesn't even have to be involved in the plays per se. But if he's locking down that team's top receiver every game and that team can't throw the ball. Look what Ohio State did to us in the Rose Bowl.
Shut up. We're not there yet. We're not even talking playoffs. Shut up. We're talking regular season. Shut your mouth. You shut your mouth, Baz.
No, but we need to end this Hunter discussion otherwise.
All right.
I mean, he did have a feel good speech. Like, I mean, I was all in on Ashton Genty until I was like, you know what? The Heisman made the right choice. Like, because I mean, he thanked his mother and his girlfriend for being there for him and his family and all that.
And then his girlfriend screamed at him afterwards. Just like go to good.
To put a bow on it, whoever would have won Heisman would have been a good choice. I don't think they could have made a wrong choice, no matter who won, whether it was Gabriel, Genty, or Hunter.
That's true. I was leaning for Genty, to be honest. Even as a Duck guy, I was like, dude, Ashton Genty, that guy is just like kind of like Hunter. He's on his own. Genty was a beast. So I mean, hey.
The good news, Austin, is we're going to get him with the 12th pick in the NFL. So
works for me. We need all the help we can get.
Finally find that Zeke replacement, huh?
Yeah.
Best. So what's the best game that you can think of from the Big 12 this last season? Really quickly.
The best game from
Colorado.
the Big 12?
One of the
Colorado Baylor.
No.
Ooh, that's a good one. That was a pretty good one. I need to look.
Colorado, K-State was pretty good too.
Oh yeah, the K-State Colorado game that kept them out of the title game.
Yeah,
basically that really knocked them out.
Won't get a lot of credit, but
can we talk about worse decisions? Was K-State not doing what they had to bring Will Howard back?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There was the Big 12 was so up and down this year. Like so many teams that you thought would be good, like Kansas, Utah, Houston taking a step forward. It just never materialized. And you got Arizona State coming out of nowhere from 3-9 to win it all and go to the playoff and almost take out Texas. It was fun. It was a fun year in the Big 12. I mean, to say the least.
Well,
unless you're an Oklahoma State fan.
Can we talk about the fact that the team picked to finish last in the preseason media poll won the conference? And two of the
and got a top 4 bye.
And 2 of the 3 teams, picked at the top of the conference won a combined 1 game, and it was because one beat the other.
Yikes! Yikes!
I know.
This was like the most insane conference. This season, I mean, like someone's going to do a documentary on the 2024 Big 12 season at some point. Like, just all this chart cuts, just this ramshackle land of misfit toys. And then
it was brutal.
kind of crazy season turns out.
It was brutal. The Big 12 was just. I mean, if you want to talk about a split, you're either like 8-5 or 8-4 overall in the season with bowl game, or you were literally like 4-8. I mean, like there was no in between. It was like you were this or you were that. There's no in between. There was no middle ground in this conference.
I'll say this, Ben. BYU, they were like, even though they had a quiet 11-win season, they were they had to come back from a lot of deficits. The Utah game, they got down to Kansas big. They just kept playing from behind a lot, and eventually caught up with them with Kansas.
Well, that's it. That's all I say. We don't want to forget Kalani Sadaki and the job he has done, because they went to that bowl game, BYU Colorado. Yes, Big 12, but it was because of the bowl tie-ins from the Pac-12, and BYU just beat the shit out of Colorado with Shedeur and Travis Hunter playing. So, yeah. I mean,
Well, the best game for me for the Big 12 was BYU Utah from this year. Like,
I knew it.
the Holy War.
well, and to be clear, because it was like when I called in on Mountaineers live event on West Virginia at the Voice of College Football, when Joey and Tide Guy and Dale the Wolfman Wolfley, rest in peace, by the way, were hosting the show. I called in on the show, and this was before the Big 12 got Utah at that time. And I told them, like, look, the Big 12 is going to have to find a top-notch rivalry to market of. I mean, they can market Kansas State, Iowa State all they want, but the average college football fan is not going to get excited about Kansas State, Iowa State, or Kansas State. I mean, you could market Texas, Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry, and the Bedlam, but that's gone after this year. So what you do is get Utah to the Big 12, and boom, you market the Holy War as the rivalry for the Big 12. And I can tell you right now, this year's edition of the Holy War did not disappoint. And it wasn't even so much about like the game itself, but like after the game, where like Utah's AD was getting ugly with BYU.
That's true. Yeah. The comment, he got fined, and a lot of people got fined after that game.
Well, in the schedule, the 2025 Big 12 schedule is going to get announced on Tuesday at 11 a.m. And I'm hoping the Big 12 will make the right choice for BYU Utah by putting that on rivalry week. Maybe not on Saturday night, but put it on Black Friday, because like you can market
Adam.
You can market the holy crap out of being on Black Friday.
Yes, we can.
Yes. So that's the power of college football. It can even get Mormons to be assholes to each other. So,
real quick, Ben, the game no one's talking about, Cincinnati, Texas Tech. What a barn burner that was late at night. If anybody stayed up to watch that game, that was fun.
No. We're not going down that road, Austin.
Hold on. How dare you? I'm gonna look at this. Hold on. Let me double check this. Cincinnati, Texas Tech, right?
Yes.
Double check the score here. Cincinnati. There we go. Schedule. Cincinnati.
Stop it. We don't need to discuss this anymore. No. It was an irrelevant game. No one cares.
Cincinnati, Texas Tech.
Yeah.
44,
Me too, Adam.
44-41. Yeah. Yikes.
But I'm behind Sammy the Bull, sorry.
Well, Sean, Ohio State won the Natty. So why are you fussing about Cincinnati? You got to see a Natty. It'll be all right.
That almost sounded like poetry right there, the way you said that. Who cares
Jason's
about
not,
Cincinnati? You got to see a natty.
yeah, Jason's not wrong here. Jason's not wrong.
Austin's dropping bars here.
Yeah, Cincinnati. You got to see a natty, Cincinnati. So go back to Ohio, eh?
Oh God!
So
All right.
go cry to your dad.
So the point is, Big 12 coach is definitely Kenny Dillingham. Player, regardless of Heisman. I'm sorry, it's Cam Scatteraboo.
Yeah.
That guy did everything for that team. I mean, no matter what. So Travis Hunter sucked it. Cam Scatteraboo.
I would say Shador Sanders.
I'm about to boot you off the street, and I swear to God, no, I'm kidding.
I would say Shiloh Sanders probably.
I'm gonna go Cam Scatteraboo.
He's still pissing blood from 2 years ago.
Oh God.
I can see the Shador commentary, argument. I can see it. I mean, but yeah, Scatteraboo, I think ultimately with the team's success, obviously he was a huge driving force. That's the only reason I go with
to
it.
ignore you right now, Adam. Go away.
Yeah, Adam. We're not in the Big Ten conversation yet, so you calm your ass down, Rutgers. All right.
Slow down, Rutgers.
I will not show up on the Rutgers show anymore to show you support if you don't watch your mouth. Swear to God. And where's our tickets for next year? What the hell?
So wait, is Oregon going to Rutgers next year?
Yes.
Yes.
October 18th.
The game of the century. Oregon at Rutgers.
I mean, obviously the most logical conference matchup of all time.
Supposedly, Sean, Adam's gonna fly me and Ben in to have a weekend at Rutgers.
Oh God!
Allegedly.
Can he get you an appointment with his barber / psychologist Chantal in there? That's what he needs to do. Maybe the problem is maybe you guys will come back and be like balanced, reasonable people from that, and this show will be terrible.
Ooh, Jason, if you're serious and you're gonna be there, yes, we would love to meet up with Jason. Definitely, that'd be awesome.
If you guys are all going to be at Oregon Rutgers, I just might show up.
Dude, that would be so hilarious.
Get your plane tickets. We're going to Oregon Rutgers.
We just have like 30 people show up to the Oregon Rutgers.
Such a random game. I mean, in the sense for Oregon, it was like Oregon Rutgers. Yay! But hey, if people are going to show up, let's do it. Let's damn do it.
That can be the.
He's taking us to Angelo's for linguine and clam sauce.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that comment down there. Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's go on with the. This is why this is not an easy topic, so to say, because everyone says best and worst. Well, Ohio State won the national title, so you want to give it. We're again not looking so much at playoffs. We're looking at the regular season and how the season played out. So the Big Ten, where do you lean in the sense of coaching in the Big Ten? Because I think it's pretty easy. No offense to the national title winners, Ohio State, but regular season, I think it was pretty easily. It was Dan Lanning.
Listen. I ain't trying to start now.
Sorry, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, Sean, but Jackson, I'm trying to start something. But Kurt Cignetti, it was the best coach in the Big Ten this year, bar none. Sorry, Mr. Lanning.
No, I'm not going to disagree with you there. I think that you could easily say Kirk Cignetti because Cignetti kills, he murders people, and yeah. So For the most part, he does. So I'm not. I can't. That's a good choice. Also, obviously.
Yeah.
No, he's. I mean, like he was the easy choice for coach of the year before the postseason, right? I mean, there were no other contenders, even though maybe Dillingham should have been.
I mean, you're going to have your typical ones. You're going to have, of course, Ryan Day. You're going to have James Franklin looked at as a potential. Brett Bielema did a great job with Illinois this year.
Mm-hmm.
He did a really good job with Illinois.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 games. I mean, come on. You win 10 games at Illinois? That's good.
Yeah.
That's damn good.
Real
so.
See, most of the times I would think that was hyperbole, but I believe that might be true. What Adam was saying there. If you order a veggie burger at Angelo's, they will kill you.
They will kill you.
That's
I don't know.
That used to be the term for whacking somebody. Order a veggie burger. Uh-oh, he's gone.
Well,
You don't talk about this publicly, Spaz. They will whack you if you do.
and I know when we bring this up, PJ Fleck, he had a bounce back year. You know, you could give him a few brownie points in this conversation.
Well, what do we give the job that Greg Schiano did up at Rutgers? There, Adam.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Can we just not be? Can we just pull this? Can we just say that Greg Schiano is the only person that seems to be able to win at Rutgers? Like, period. Like, flat out. He's like the only guy. Everyone else fails. He's done it twice where he's winning. I mean, is it just him or what is going on? You know?
Oh, you're not wrong. Cause I mean, it just feels that way. Cause I mean, I've looked at the history of Rutgers football, and it's like, he's pretty much the only man that can consistently win there. I mean, Chris Ash couldn't do it. Kyle Flood couldn't do it.
I really feel like New Jersey's, just that area is disengaged from college football, and it kind of takes one of their own to get people to care about it. I don't know. So
it does. It's like Syracuse. Syracuse is kind of disconnected from college football, and Rutgers is kind of the same way, which is unfortunate because it could be massive football, fan bases, but they're just kind of disconnected from it. I don't know why. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam, can we at least go see?
Lifestyle if you grow up near there, like it's different than living in like small town Pennsylvania or something where like you look forward to the high school football games, or people actually show up to like youth football on the weekend because they have nothing to do. It's totally different when you live in a massive metro like that. People are busy. People have options. It's different.
That means Rutgers was the worst team in the Big Ten last year.
And it was
I mean, like they've been the worst team in the Big Ten a lot of times since they joined the Big Ten.
I think Mike Loxley, Maryland.
Have they won anything?
No, the worst team in the Big Ten last year was easily Purdue, but
that's why I was going to say the worst. That's we don't have to worry about that, and he's not even the coach anymore. But that was Purdue and Walters. I don't even blame Walters because he wouldn't. I don't think he was given. It was
he didn't even have a prayer.
He wasn't given like a lot to have to work with, so to say. He was kind of. But when you can score 49 and lose to Illinois and then get shut out the next week at home to Oregon, that was pretty much a death sentence. Like that was like what?
I felt terrible for him because like Brom left. They had a really good team in 21. Well, last year Brom was there. They were pretty good.
They were decent.
They graduated a ton of people and then people, left as soon as he left. And Ryan Walters was left to pick up a bunch of scraps. And then he had to put they picked up a bunch of like MAC and FCS players in the transfer portal. And I thought in his first year, they competed pretty well. Like they fought hard. They were overmatched most of the time. And then the next year, and then after his first year, all those players left. All the players that had any talent, any skill were gone. So he was even in even a worse situation his second year. I don't know, my heart kind of broke for him because I don't necessarily think he's a bad coach, but
No.
my God, he had one of the worst hands dealt to him of any coach that's ever gotten a Power 4 job. They were abysmal this year. Like there's no you should do better than that. But man,
Yeah, I don't think he's not. I'm not gonna say he's a bad coach because I think there was potential. He was in a bad spot and it never recovered. He was only given 2 years, and as everyone knows, usually it takes 3 to 4 years really to build a roster correctly. And it's Purdue. This is not like Michigan or Ohio State. It's Purdue. But this also shows that Purdue is going, hey, we're serious about ball and we want to win. So at the same time, maybe they'll go, hey, you're not producing, you're out. Well, now he's the defensive coordinator at Washington. So now he just gets to focus on defense.
Well, worst coach. Oh, go ahead, Austin.
No, go ahead, Jackson. Go ahead. Good buddy.
Worst coaching job for 2024 for me was Lincoln Riley because USC. Yeah, like the way they lost to Maryland, Minnesota. Oh my God!
No.
Michigan,
Washington. He lost to Washington the same way in all of those games. Hey, Lincoln Riley, run the damn ball. No, I'm going to throw 5 times. Oh, we lost the game? Ah, damn it. Oh, repeat. Oh, we lost the damn game? Repeat. Oh, we lost. That was Lincoln Riley this season.
They blew it against Penn State as well because it's like, oh my God.
It's true.
Here's the thing, and I want to give props to this coach, Matt Rule, for what he has done for Nebraska and just a short time he's been there. I give him a round of applause for finally putting the curse to bed. They won a bowl game. They made a bowl game. Shout out Matt Rule.
And there's one other thing he got Nebraska doing, Austin.
What's that, good buddy?
Ending the losing streak against Wisconsin.
Yes.
And they finally beat Iowa this year too. Oh no, Iowa.
No, they lost to Iowa.
Lost. That's right. Yeah. Forgot they lose to Iowa in goofy ways every year.
Oh yeah.
So if we're looking at coaching here in the Big Ten, who do we have the best? Because the best is there's kind of a very top tier 3 or 4. Worst, I definitely can agree with Riley, Loxley, and Walters. I think those are kind of your bottom 3. But your top are pretty neck and neck in the way. Because again, we're excluding that kind of playoff. We're just kind of going regular season championship. It's pretty tight up top. I just cannot overlook 13-10 loss to an average Michigan team.
How many of these teams won? How many of these teams won a national championship this year? How many of these coaches?
I get it. We just said it. We're the whole point of the whole time we're excluding playoff. We're just talking regular season championship. I cannot exclude that 13-10 loss. It's tough. We didn't in the ACC. We didn't even talk about Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame, even though we were including them in the ACC. That would be like me saying I'm overlooking losing to NIU.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was the most embarrassing loss of the regular season, losing to NIU. That was embarrassing. So I don't know. It's tough. I love Signetti. I like what he's doing there. I think he's going to do good. This year was a shock, but we'll see what he does next year. I love Signetti, so I have nothing against him. So I'm leaving it up to you. I'm being a neutral party here right now. Give me your Big Ten Coach of the Year, quote unquote.
I have to go Cincinnati. I mean, you're saying like coach of the year, that's Cincinnati all the way. Best coaching job through the regular season for the Big Ten would have to be Lanning at Oregon. Because I mean, you got to remember, for those that didn't tune in for the whole season, Oregon almost like had a sloppy day against Idaho, and they looked pretty sloppy against Boise State, and people were just dragging them through the coals for looking sloppy against Boise. And I remember, and I think it was the week of Oregon, Michigan State, where, and not just where I subbed in for Ben for Oregon, Michigan State on Duts Live on Oregon Boys College Football.
Yeah,
but
because I was underground in the Paris catacombs, so I mean, someone had to do it.
That's right. And here on this show on After Dark, where I've stated numerous times, Oregon was saving their best stuff for Ohio State. They're not letting too much out. They're saving all their best stuff. And for those people that were saying, "Oh well, he couldn't get it done. Oregon's not going to beat Ohio State." What happens? They do in the regular season. I mean, yeah, they lost in the Rose Bowl and the granddad of them all against Ohio State, but still. Great job by Dan Lanning in Oregon, and great job by Cincinnati and Indiana this season.
Damn right.
Nope.
Adam is drinking.
I'm gonna pitch Adam in the New Jersey River when we get there.
Spamming the chat like all hell, and I'm like, stop it, Adam.
He's dogging on us tonight.
Yeah, he's
man.
like,
I don't know what.
We love Rutgers. We love Rutgers.
The girlfriend not give you something tonight or something, Adam, man? Because you've been on us like rice all night.
Here's the thing.
No, Bill was definitely getting some short shrift in this conversation. I think there was some skepticism because Illinois didn't have the toughest conference schedule this season. That maybe they were a little bit fraudulent, but they showed up and they put it on South Carolina in the bowl game. So,
well,
I'm sorry, I just can't. Adam, you're killing
Adam,
me.
you need to donate to the
Absolutely killing me over
here. Austin, what are you going to say?
Real quick, I was going to say, when I look at Coach of the Year, I look at what your expectations were going into the year and what they became as the year ended. And for Indiana, by all states and margins, we thought Indiana would be a 5-win team at best, maybe 6 if they can, because the squirrel finds a blind nut. For Cincinnati to have them to win 11 games in playoffs in his first year at Indiana, and keep in mind, guys, this is a basketball school at heart. And all of a sudden, he's able to bring all this attention to this football program, and people want to keep seeing it succeed. They're getting all this money, and the Big Ten, is starting to, back them a little bit now. And it's like, and don't get me wrong, landing what he did first year in the conference, won the Big Ten title, that's something special that'll never, ever be replicated probably again, unless realignment takes over again. He deserves a lot of props. But you look at it from beginning to end, Signetti, for all accounts, took a team that was a 4 or 5 win team to a playoff team. And for that, he gets my vote for Coach of the Year.
I can agree with that justification, that type of explanation, because that's it. Oregon was going to be one of the top teams in the Big Ten projected anyways. And Indiana, the expectations were questionable. So I love what Signetti did. Absolutely do. And that's why I said there's a bottleneck at the top of like coaching. Dan Lanning, Signetti, Ryan Day, obviously Franklin, and then of course Bielema for what he did. So it's tough. I love Signetti. I do love Signetti.
Fine.
So I'm not going to be too biased here.
Win, Google me.
Yeah, yeah. All I do is win. Google me.
There you go.
I love Signetti. He's got that cockiness around him.
Well, and like the most underrated game of the year from the Big Ten was Illinois Penn State. I mean, yeah, it was a double-digit win, but it was closer than it looked. For those that watched the game, I should know because I was watching Alabama, Georgia on my desktop, and I was watching Penn State, Illinois on my iPad on the Peacock app.
Well, what about Illinois over Michigan?
I watched on the TV. I was flipping between that and another game.
That was a good one. A little barn burner there.
Yeah, that was on the 100th anniversary of the Red Grange game from 1924.
They had the custom helmets.
Yeah.
Hey, Spaz.
Yeah.
Will you wake up? Oh, I wanted to make sure you weren't dead.
No, I'm here.
Okay, good.
Man,
I have to say the job in theory that coach that it should go to is fucking Ryan Day, because he did it. He made the adjustments when he had to, and he got his team motivated, and they went and won the whole damn thing. When everybody was calling for his head, he said, all right, watch this. Anybody calling for his head now?
Well, no, he was actually more like this. What happened? That was more his look, actually, at that point. About a day later, maybe he said, watch what happens. But yeah, if you want to go to the playoff national title, of course, overall, you give props to Ryan Day and that entire staff, which now Ohio State has lost that staff completely, top to bottom, basically. O-line coach, OC, and DC. Sean, your projection for Ohio State.
My what?
Your projection for Ohio State next season after losing basically everyone.
Okay, somewhere between national champion and 5-7, I guess.
There you go. There you go.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
This is true.
Hey, I mean, you've got number 4 there, that mutant. There's always a chance.
That is true. I mean, hey, anytime when teams overestimate the impact of coordinators more than the head coach, every time a team loses a coordinator, even a co-coordinator,
it's massive.
Oh crap! What's going to happen? I mean, we're right now in transition. Samples, our running back coach, is getting looked at, I believe, by the Texans. He didn't take the Sam Houston coaching job. Now he's getting looked at by the Texans for their job, and I'm like,
the same notion, though. I mean, turnover is a massive part of the coaching industry. I mean, like, you're always going to lose assistants.
Well, this is what happens. This is what happens.
I believe our co-defensive coordinator Chris Hampton is interviewing at Ohio State too.
He's one of the front runners too. He very well might get it.
Would not surprise me. Would not hate to see him go, but
he is, but it's not done yet, so we don't know. But I mean, the point is, when you are a team that's winning, this is what happens.
You're going to get looked at.
Yeah, so it's funny when I love other teams coming out like a little baby child at USC. Saying, oh, Oregon's a stepping stone. It's like, no, when you win, people want your coaches. Mm-hmm. When you win. So that's just jealousy. You know, so
that was what made Saban's run at Alabama so impressive. is the fact that they kept losing, high level assistants, to these major coaching jobs, and then he just kept replacing them. He just kept cycling them through. I mean, like it's a major stress test of your ability as a CEO if you can keep losing your top talent and still maintain a high level organization.
Absolutely.
That's
I mean, that's kind of the point. It's like, hey, if you can literally replace it, and there are coaches that do it and coaches that don't do it, and so we'll see how all that works.
I mean, do you want to be a Nick Saban, an Urban Meyer, or do you want to be a Gene Chizik or a Jimbo Fisher,
or Orgeron?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might be the best example. Like a guy that had two outstanding coordinators loses them and can't do anything. Yeah.
All right. So, so Big Ten players of the year. This is tough. This is a tough one. There's multiple.
I'll tell you who the best player in the Big Ten is, and I don't even think it's close.
Tyler Warren.
Well, the best player is probably Jeremiah Smith.
Okay.
Tyler Warren is really good.
Okay, Sean.
Here's the thing. I don't think his production quite because he's a freshman. He's still maturing into the position. Like I mean, like he's an absurd next level talent that I think we kind of expect to be in the Hall of Fame at some point. Like he's going to be like just that level of talent.
I do have to point out that I'm the Oregon fan here, and I am not pulling out Oregon names. I'm giving like credit to like every other team possible, and the Ohio State one's like, no, it's my guy. Yeah, I just want to point that out.
But who would Oregon have? I mean, like no. I mean, Jeremiah.
We had the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year in Dylan Gabriel.
Tez Johnson.
Yeah. I'm sure 20 years from now, people are going to think of Dylan Gabriel as a better football player than Jeremiah Smith.
I'm just trying to say, I'm pointing out other people, and I have to lean Tyler Warren because I'm sorry, Penn State had zero receivers, zero fucking receivers.
No, literally 0 yards in the semifinal game. 0 yards from wide receiver.
Exactly. It was all Tyler Warren.
Listen, I'm going to put some respect on their name right now. Nick Singleton or Katron Allen for Penn State. Give them guys their respect because they, along with Tyler Warren, made that offense run.
Yep.
I'm going to go Caleb Johnson at Iowa. I mean, he was like one of the working players for Iowa's offense. Like, I mean, he led the league in rushing yards for the season.
Yep. I mean, he was really good. He's a really good player.
Oh, yeah. But also
he'll be probably a second round pick.
Oh, yeah. But he also has to share with Jeremiah Smith.
And Sean, I know Michigan people are going to like this answer, but Will Johnson, a first-round pick corner, Mason Graham.
Will Johnson missed like half the season this year, and he kind of struggled.
I'd have to go.
He did play. This is not a great year for Will Johnson.
I'd have to go with
I would put
Penn
Mason
State
Graham 100% before Will Johnson in this discussion. Mason Graham was a better player in the season for Michigan than Will Johnson.
I'd have to go with Penn State, Abdul Carter.
Carter? Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
He had probably the best defensive numbers in the Big Ten.
And he had an enormous impact because they had him do a lot of different things on that defense. Like it was just. I'll
tell you what,
he's going to go in the top 3 or 4 picks.
But maybe not. If something crazy happens and you get a Lamar Jackson type of slippage where he drops, and I love Ashton Genty to death. But if some crazy twist of fate happens and Abdul Carter drops to 12,
He's not.
calling
Oh
that.
my god.
I'm calling that in.
No, like for Abdul Carter to fall to 12, he would have to do something that you wouldn't want to take him at 12. Like he would have to like there would have to be like photos, or would have to be like
Have we not seen
activity.
crazier shit? Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson. We
No,
we've
those
seen guys
You're forgetting quarterbacks.
Spaz, the biggest draft miss of the all. Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady goes to the 6th round. And he's what? The goat of all goats in the NFL now.
That's
And
the
he got
beauty of
drafted
being a
6th
draft
round.
steal. That's always that's the beauty of being a draft steal. Is like when no one's paying attention in the NFL draft, you can prove everybody that didn't take a look at you wrong.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's going to drop, but if he did, you'd be a fool.
And listen, I know Ben and Spaz don't want to bring it up, but obviously Dylan Gabriel was right here in this conversation with the rest of them. He was third in Heisman. He was one of the 3 Heisman finalists, so he's there. I think you can make a case Tez Johnson's there, too, for best player.
I'm actually just leaning Abdul Carter. He was the best player in the conference this season. I don't think it's close. Especially, you can look at his numbers and everything. If you watched him play in any game this year, it was just he played against Notre Dame in the semifinal game. He literally had to line up on one side because he couldn't use one arm. He was playing with one arm.
Yeah, I think that was their downfall.
In complete, but he was dominant, playing with one arm.
Still dominating with one arm.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
yeah, and you know what makes
he's not an unusual freak of a player.
And you want to know what makes it even better is Notre Dame's supposed to have all NFL draft picks, like top lottery picks, first rounders on that line, and he pushes all of them.
No, that's not true at all. No. That their tackles were a little bit of a weakness. That's not true.
Personally, I don't think it matters whether if you're the top pick or the last pick of the draft. What matters is what you do after you're drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gentlemen, did we get everything out of the Big Ten, or is there anything?
I think we did.
Yeah, we killed the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Did we talk about the game of the year? Or is it unanimous?
Well, the game of the year is a slam dunk. It's
Ohio
East.
State, Oregon, yeah.
Just not close.
I was going to say Oregon, Penn State in the Big Ten title game.
No,
you aren't. You're just trying to be
nothing compared to the Ohio State, Oregon game in the regular season.
Oh yeah,
nothing. That was like one of the top 3 games of the year. Period.
Yeah,
on pretty much everybody's board.
Yep, it was a great one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it had everything. It was tense. There was a little bit of drama and controversy at the end.
Yep.
I mean, it was everything you look for in a college football game.
Yep.
Can't say as much about the Rose Bowl, but
you shut your mouth about that nasty game. You shut up. I swear.
Yeah, Sean. Stop disrespecting Ben when he goes off the air. Ben, you ought to hurt him while you were gone.
I only said that because I just saw Ben came back on the air. That's the only reason I brought it back up.
See, Sean, you just need to stop this lying while you're ahead. You're lucky Ben likes you.
Likes it, like that's a strong word. Like, I don't know. I tolerate it. So is that?
Could you imagine us all at Rutgers, Oregon, Sean.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
Oh.
Especially Adam and Chantal giving us all shampoo massages and pep talks. Oh God.
So is that what you guys are doing game of the year for
Yep.
Big Ten, Oregon, Ohio State, the first round?
Yep.
All right. I was like
I said
there were
Oregon, Penn
other
State.
that's a good one too. There were other ones, obviously Illinois, Michigan,
Well,
Purdue, Northwestern.
Oregon, Wisconsin was really fun to watch. Like really fun to sweat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
it was
No, I mean, like,
it was a
just like,
sweat game. That is for sure.
no.
Yeah.
And it was one of those too. Like I kind of felt the whole season like, okay, that's going to be a game Oregon's going to struggle in. It's like the 8th week in a row that they had to play right
Yeah.
ahead of a bye week on the road. Like, okay, everything's setting up. Merrimack over Morgan State when they had 6 first downs. That was a really good one.
We called
Merrimack winning a game with 6 first downs.
We called a split with Ohio State, Michigan, and Wisconsin as the 3 games to watch at the beginning of the year.
No.
And we got a 3-0 out of that.
Well, I also call Purdue as a trap game because after Ohio.
Yeah, and we called Purdue our trap game.
But that was obviously that didn't happen. Because Purdue was absolute garbage. So we're not going to cover all the G4 or G5 groups conferences, but the most significant one obviously was the Mountain West, where you had obviously Boise State representing
and UNLV,
the group of 5. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Boise State representing the group of 5. God damn it, Spaz, pay attention.
I thought UNLV and Boise State were both in the same conference.
Well, they are, but I'm talking about just how they were represented in the playoff. Boise State's only loss was 3 points to Oregon.
Wink, wink, Spaz.
So
starting in 2026, you're going to see Boise State and UNLV in different conferences.
That's right.
They'll be in the Pac-12.
Yep.
Or Pac-10 or whatever rendition
the Pac
at that point. Yeah.
12 minus the Pac-12 minus 2 plus 5.
Well, I think they've got like 8
or
10 teams.
No, my mistake. It's Pac-12 minus 10 plus 5.
What?
My brain just exploded.
Mine too.
Yeah. I don't know who's actually involved.
The Pac-12 is the Pac-12 minus 10 plus 5.
So there's 7 teams in the Pac-12.
So there's 7 teams in there. I thought they had 10.
It sucks.
So can we get like Sacramento State, Cal Poly, and
Sacramento State? Sacramento
where,
State is being talked about. Yes,
I saw where a friend of the Voice of College Football Network, Nathan Brown, at the College Football Mafia, was talking about the possibility of Pac-12 getting Sacramento State.
Yeah. Sac State absolutely should be in the FBS.
Call Oregon back up. They need to go back to competition that actually matters. They done dominated the Big Ten.
How about Eastern Washington? They I feel like
Sky though, so I don't know. You'd be able to get them to move.
Yeah.
How about add Idaho to the Pac-12?
That'd be interesting. I don't see why not.
I mean, Boise State.
Especially because that's a natural rivalry. Idaho and Washington State's campuses are like 10 minutes away from each other.
I mean,
they're like right next to each other.
I mean, if you need some schools that bad, go get Idaho. Go get Sacramento State. I mean,
why not get South Dakota? It's like the NDSU though. That if they're already on top of the world in a way, why would you leave that type of situation when you can run it?
I mean, like what they need to do is get like a good media rights deal, and then they can actually get those teams to
get Gonzaga. I mean, I know Gonzaga's
just
joining.
go sign that Apple contract you had written up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and get Gonzaga to bring back their football program, and bring on St. Mary's.
Oh, yeah.
That's an interesting.
Well, shout out also Oregon State. Shout out. You are the winners of the Pac-2. You are the conference title holders of the Pac-2. Washington State's going to be interesting next year because they started out hot as shit,
I have nothing
and then just
State.
went downhill. And Dickert went to Wake Forest, and Matera to Oklahoma, and like 20 other transfers of their starting lineup. And their bowl game was better than I thought it would be. I thought they were going to blow out of the water, but they actually showed up, played, and fought hard. So, shout out Washington State. Love the Cougs, but the Mountain West as a whole, it was a Boise and UNLV a year. That was plain and simple from the start.
Yeah, and obviously the best player discussion is no discussion in this conference. It's Genty, and then everybody else falls in line.
Well, the best coaching job by the Mountain West was Barry Odom at UNLV. I mean, like your starting quarterback leaves you, and then it's like, no problem, we can win without you.
Your backup is better than your starting quarterback. I mean, it's like, what? Luca? Was that his name?
Sluka. Matt Sluka.
Yeah. What an idiot.
Oh yeah. Well, James Madison.
Where do you end up at, by the way? You would know.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, like I feel bad for him because it does seem like he just got completely hosed. I don't blame him for like just fucking walking out, like
Well, we still don't know. But it seems more like his agent gave him bad information or something like that, and then he just took it and was like, I can go somewhere else. And it's like, dude, you were completing like 40% of your passes in 3 games, something like that. I was like, dude, no one.
Yeah, but he was just kind of a running quarterback anyway.
Well, Matthew Sloka has a very shitty agent they needs to fire. Get a new one.
I don't know where he landed. If he landed anywhere, he's gonna be a backup. He's gonna be a backup.
So I will back up Adam on this. I spent every summer growing up going to Fargo. It's a wonderful state, wonderful place.
I lived in Minot, North Dakota. It's fine. It's fine.
Fargo is way better than Minot.
Well, Minot, you idiot.
No.
Say Minot. Say Minot again. Say it again. Now we're having an argument over how to pronounce North Dakota City.
Oh Lord.
This is the depth this show goes to, everyone.
No, yeah. I prefer Bismarck.
Will the Mountain West ever consider getting North Dakota State? Because I feel like they should. They should go get them.
Well, the original Pac-12 wanted to get North Dakota State potentially. I mean, that seemed like a solid option as an addition. But again, does North Dakota State want to relinquish the FCS stronghold they have, where they just won another title? I mean, yeah, that's a tough sell for a school like that. When it's like, dude, you rule the FCS. Why would you want to set yourself back potentially 4, 5, 6 years at least?
Well, they could be the next Boise State if they leave the FCS. Honestly, they would rule the Group of 5.
Now, here's a crazy.
They could. I mean, just the amount of local support they have, and the way the organization is run, they would be competitive right away. I would say, like, would they want to maybe join the MAC? Possibly the MAC or the Mountain West. It's like, where would they fit in?
Oh,
The Mountain
hell
West.
no.
The Mountain West, I think, would be much more of a threat for them.
I mean, we
think.
see them
Here's-
go against Power 4 opponents. Every time they go against them, they win most of the time. They win those games. I mean, this feels like, the Boise State of old, like when watching North Dakota State. I'm telling you right now, if we put North Dakota State in FBS, they would win. They would be winning big time.
Yeah.
I mean, like they would be one of the top 60 teams right now in FBS if they.
Easy.
I mean,
Easy.
like with no adjustments. Like people, you realize too. Like when you jump from FCS to FBS, you pick up 22 scholarships as well. That helps you in a bunch of different ways, and you get the television revenues of whatever conference you come into, and they've already built this good of a team without all of that stuff.
Yeah, I think they fit better in the Mountain West just because I know that they're in the north and in North Dakota, but Mountain West just seems like they would fit in that realm because they're next to Montana and Idaho and Wyoming.
North Dakota State's in Fargo, though. That's right next to Minnesota.
That's true.
That's more in the Midwest. Yeah.
Yeah, but Oregon's just won the Big Ten, and that's a Midwest Eastern Conference. So I mean, at this point, too, it doesn't matter.
Eugene's basically part of the Midwest now.
Allegedly, and the point is, I think they can do whatever they want to do. North Dakota State would be a great addition, but again, why would you leave something that you're ruling to set yourself back 4 or 5 years?
And their only competition is Montana State
and South Dakota. South Dakota's become really good. The Jackrabbits are a really good team. I know. Talking FCS, we just lost like half the audience. Talking about
good going, Sean.
See, I can go even further off the rails here. I can talk about my experience here living Grand Valley State, which dominated Division II football for years and years and years. They were talking about moving them up to the MAC, and they resisted it forever and ever and ever because they just wanted to be like an elite Division II school. Even though they could have joined the MAC at some point about a decade ago. And I don't think they have that option anymore because they're not as good. They're not as sexy as they were a decade ago.
I don't want any more realignment to happen. This shit needs to settle for like 10 years. It's not going to, but
I don't want another summer of realignment for the next years.
You have to remember or learn.
Oh gosh!
But if we have to have like realignment, like can we do like realignment trades? Like that would be better. Like because I've got one in mind.
Can we have a relegation system like in the
I want to hear the
EPL?
trade. I want to hear his trade proposal.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a couple in mind.
Oh.
Rutgers to the ACC, and in return, Pitt goes to the Big Ten. So we have Penn State, Pittsburgh on rivalry week. Missouri to the Big 12, and in return, the SEC gets Oklahoma State. What do we get in return? The SEC gets
Oklahoma State.
And what does the Big 12 get back? The border war rivalry between Missouri, Kansas, which, by the way, will be returning for a couple seasons. Starting with this season on September 6th of this year on week 2, and they're coming back for another season after that as well in 2026.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable trade here. And it was the Jim said here, best game for conferences was ACC Miami Cal. Yeah, that was a good game. That was a Justin Wilcox special of how to lose a game. The same.
Well, it also seemed like a special on how to rig a game from the ACC. Like, just make sure.
Definitely, 100%. No, not targeting. It was targeting. Shut up.
The best thing that came out of the ACC this year, unquestionably, without doubt, was the Calgorithm.
No, the Cal. Oh, yes, 100%.
Cal has hot.
100%. My Twitter is full of the Calgorithm, and like one of my favorite people to watch is Admiral Bear. Great guy, and this other guy, Avinash Kunaf. Just fantastic. They just post Calgorithm stuff 24/7.
Can we send Purdue to the Pac-12 and bring Oregon State over so we can have the Civil War every year?
Damn right. Can we
Again?
swap?
Purdue to the Pac-12. Well, we got to contact Mike Bogue on that. See if he's down with this.
Who else are you going to send to the Big Ten?
Get rid of the old Oakland bucket to bring back the Civil War.
I feel like Stanford and Notre Dame would be most likely to 19 and 20 because I mean it's like I don't know when because it's likely going to be in the 2030s decade.
Wait, when Notre Dame joins?
Yeah, because I mean the Big Ten and the ACC, they are going to be just chopping up the ACC, and if it has to be that way, can we have Georgia Tech back in their rightful place at the SEC, please?
No. Georgia Tech's a Big Ten school.
I don't give a
Georgia Tech needs to be in. Georgia Tech fits in the Big Ten much better than they do the SEC.
Give a rat's ass. I want to see Georgia Tech, Alabama back in the rivalry, man.
Here's the thing, Jackson. I want to say this: the ACC is not going to die. The ACC is not going to die because there's too many basketball schools in there. They're going to see to it that conference does not die on their watch.
No, I feel like the SEC, like their prime, eventually their top properties, North Carolina, Clemson, Florida State, Miami, Georgia Tech, those teams will end up getting split up among the big dogs, and then your Syracuses, your Boston Colleges, your Louisvilles, Pittsburghs will just have to fend for themselves. And
actually, I think Louisville, Pitt, Virginia Tech, they'll be in like the Big 12. Although, like, I feel like Pitt should, like, if there is any expansion to the point where it's like the SEC Big Ten are rating the ACC, I think like Pitt should be in the Big 10 with Penn State, or they should be in the Big 12 with West Virginia.
They're going to try to join the Big 10. I don't know if the Big 10 will have them, to be honest.
We're going into this argument. This argument is about more regionality and tradition, but that's unfortunately what college football is not about anymore. That's why you have Oregon playing Rutgers at Rutgers next year as a conference game, because it's not about regionality anymore.
Who'd have thought that would happen in 06? Try telling somebody that in 2006.
Oh, don't forget Indiana making a cross trip to California to play SC and UCLA. The Hoosier State going over to Cali.
Yeah, it's like USC at Maryland. I mean, who the hell would have said, "Hey, that's a great conference game. Let's go." It is what it is.
Iowa.
Yeah, we're going to Rutgers next year and Penn State.
Well, Penn State, I'm looking forward to. Rutgers, not so much. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, Ohio State's women's basketball team's got a trip to USC and UCLA next week, and all three of them are top 10 teams right now. So,
yeah, I got to go take on Michigan and Michigan State next week, and we've fallen off the rails.
Yeah, well, the Oregon basketball team has collapsed all of a sudden.
Well, we got Wake Forest again and Boston College.
What am I repenting for now?
I don't know.
Blew the Rose Bowl to shit. Okay.
Adam, put down the drinks. Jesus Christ! Tonight,
Adam,
off the rails.
Adam, listen. Listen, Adam, we love you to death, but put the drinks down, good buddy, for your own health and safety. Ben, Spaz, and Sean and Jackson and me all love you like a brother. You're a part of this family. Put the drinks down. You don't need it. Rutgers will go 9-3. Okay, chill.
I saw that comment, Jackson. I wasn't going to pull it up because I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. probably use those false teeth to bite a referee. I mean, he did have a humongous anger issue. I mean, like punching players and beating up a cameraman. I mean, like that was Woody Hayes for you, man.
True.
But in all seriousness, he was a cool dude.
So Mountain West talk again. So we're giving team of the year, obviously Boise State. Coach of the year, though, yeah, Barry Odom is neck and neck there. I think player of the year is pretty easy. It was Ashton Genty.
Oh, agreed. Ashton Genty.
Yeah, it's Genty and everybody else.
Yeah. Madsen did great at Boise State as a quarterback, but Genty was the driving force there, by all means. I like how we just did like 30 minutes of nothingness to circle back to finalize the conversation. This is what happens. It gets sidetracked, and it's like, and circle back.
Oh, you should wait until you see the early part of this show when you scroll back as you're watching it in a rerun.
Yes, Adam, we know. That's why you need to set all this shit up for it. Because I know I've been.
Now they're talking about Penn State.
Everything is expensive in New Jersey. Oh my God, 350 room.
Yeah, that's for Penn State. I've heard about Penn State rumors. Yeah, you'll never. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
you'll spend $1,000 just on travel.
Yeah.
Before you even leave the ground.
That's why
go to a Penn State game.
This is why I don't go to road games or mini games, anyways, because I'm traveling from Houston. Then you add in the game, then you add in hotels, which they always jack it up, and it's like just for one person, you're going to talk $1,000, probably.
Yeah,
like no. I'm sorry. I will sit at the comfort of my own home and do the post game, win or lose.
Hey, or Eugene's not that great for hotels neither.
Oh God,
just
no!
So you know, Jason.
Oh
it's
God,
brutal.
No. Yeah, last year I looked at Last year I looked at hotels in Eugene, and holy shit!
Listen.
Unless you meet her at a Bruce Springsteen concert, Adam.
Listen, Adam. Ben and Spaz are just going to enjoy some hard hitting football. They are not trying to get laid. You could.
I don't know about Ben, but
well, no, I'll have a little brown guy there. Oh shit! I should. This is Mark's channel again. God damn
it. Yeah.
All right. In the chat, should I go live on my channel after this? Because my work doesn't have power apparently, so there's no work tomorrow. So should I go live on my channel?
Ben's he's got a hall pass for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, set it for 11. That way I can make my phone call.
11. It's 12:20 here, so I don't know what time zone. Fake time zone.
So 1. So set it for 1.
Ben, he's got to make his call for the Secret Service. Spaz is a part of the secret agent group.
No, him and Sean are gonna have a little love talk after this.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, Sean, you dirty dog!
And of course you would.
I'm going to be the one doing all the talking.
Troy, you sick pervert. What?
God.
All right.
Adam's got a girl named Bob for you.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back in. Let's bring it back
back.
All right.
There's a
back in the pen.
It's after dark.
There's a girl named Bob, marry a boy named Sue. So
it's called After Dark for a reason. Did you ever watch After Dark when you were a kid?
This is not Jerry
didn't
Springer.
watch
This is not
Skinamax?
Steve
Come on.
Wilkos.
Everybody watched Skinamax.
Oh my God, Spaz! Please tell me you don't pay for that stuff.
Skinamax is free with your subscription.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's
Oh.
what it is. Jeez. Oh, my God.
No. That's what you should pay for because otherwise you're just inviting Chinese like spyware on your network.
No, it's on your Direct TV and Showtime.
Yes.
You
Pay for
don't
the
have
Cinemax.
to.
Pay for the Cinemax, otherwise you're vulnerable to hacking. That's all I'm saying.
Who's this mommy Adam speaking of?
I don't know.
God.
What? No, that.
I'm just curious. Like, why are we calling anybody mommy? Why? Like, I'm trying to figure that out. Why are we calling 1,000 girls mommy?
I don't know, and I don't care.
No. Didn't you say it's $1,000 for
It's $1,000 for mommy.
mommy?
Oh,
For a girl
what the
called
hell kind of
mommy.
mom is that?
So he's basically saying like high-end people have some sort of Oedipal complex,
Oh, Jesus.
right?
What happened to you?
What is happening right now?
Oh, shit.
And just like that, we got Ben fired over a mommy complex.
I have nothing to do with any of this. I should have been fired 3 years ago.
Oh, shit.
This is the only college football talk show where you can hear about Oedipal complexes. What happened there?
I don't know what's happening. I have no part in this. I was doing other things.
Shit.
I'm over here creating a thumbnail. God damn it!
Oh,
I heard a whistle. Does that mean it's
my
time?
guts hurt.
Is
I'm
that-
dying.
Okay, Sean, you heard the whistle, right? Your time's up. Now get.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Sergeant Jackson. Aye, Captain.
Hey, Jackson, you only paid
Speaking of Sergeant, where's Pickles been in the last like 2 years?
Pickles has been out here a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's been in the
Wait, there's a
chat.
sergeant named Pickles?
Yes.
Yeah, Tommy Pickles.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Anyway.
What if she's blind?
You have to be
Adam?
like
She's
exactly
that
my
one.
age to know that.
Oh, gosh. There's a blind girl, apparently, according to Spaz. What the heck?
Anyway.
750? What the? Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Adam, you've had one too many beers.
Anyway. Any topics we missed?
No, I think we're good.
I don't even know how to end this.
Ben, just find your Pop-Tart and start spanking it. There.
I was like, I don't even know how to end this motherfucker right now.
Yeah, I mean, Adam is, yeah. I mean, he's reaching troubling territory right now. I don't know what to say.
What is going on with Adam tonight? He is
I
like,
don't know.
His girlfriend said marry me.
His girlfriend talked about getting married, and now he is
Listen,
like,
Adam, are you not getting any and you're releasing your frustrations out on the keyboard?
wow.
no. You weren't paying attention to this the whole time.
We gotta get that. We gotta get that.
He has nuptial fear here, so.
Oh, it's okay, Adam. We all do. It's commitment.
She wants a ring and a kid.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's above my pay grade. We'll send that to the love doctor, Ben. Because Ben's the love
came here
doctor.
to torture us because of it.
Oh, well, in that case, Adam, stick around then. We'll tell you about our love lives.
Yeah. Anyway.
How Jackson's dating Taylor Swift.
Jackson's just like,
Yeah. Yeah, before we go,
Taylor Swift or Miley Cyrus?
What?
Taylor Swift or Miley Cyrus?
Neither.
Oh,
sorry.
Well, it's an either
I'm not
or.
gonna lower myself to either one of them. I mean,
lower yourself. Oh my!
Nah,
I'm not gonna lower myself to either women worth $1 billion. Nah.
I saw Miley Cyrus on the Joe Rogan Experience in 2020, and she sounded like a friggin' horse, like a drugged out horse. And Taylor Swift, she's always got like all her songs are about what buttholes her ex-boyfriends are. Anyway, back to
She doesn't need you. She can buy herself flowers.
Listen, Jackson, listen. You're Taylor Swift's sugar daddy. Get used to it.
Yeah, anyway, we gotta get back to the tell people about how they could get on After Dark Sunday night.
That's right. Do some business, Jackson. Do some business.
Exactly. Anyway.
That's not the only business he's got to do tonight.
Yeah.
Got him.
Anyway. $8.99 a month. You can become an all-conference member where you can get a loyalty badge next to your name in the comments and live chat, and you get custom emojis to use in the comments and the live chat, and you can get member shout-outs, member-only polls. That's all by becoming an all-conference members for $2.99 a month. For $4.99 a month, you become an all-American member by getting, and in return, you get access to a VIP hangout session with Mark Rogers himself, and you get priority reply to comments. And for $9.99 a month, you can give out content requests of any kind. And not only by becoming a Heisman member, you can give out content requests. You can be on CFB After Dark every Sunday night right here on The Voice of College Football. And for $19.99 a month, you can get discounted merch by becoming a Hall of Fame member. And for $99.99 a month, you can get VIP access to all of the top expert picks from Mark Rogers, Steve Merrill at Wager Talk, Steve Dace from the Steve Dace Show and Michigan Podcast, and Matt Zimmett from Trojans Wire and at the Voice of College Football. And of course, the top book for college football fans is Disputed National Champions, College Football's Historical 1990s Reset. And in this book, you'll learn about what happened during the 90s, how the decade changed sport, why the championship results should be questioned, how to critically think through the scenarios, and to appreciate the accomplishments of teams that were not recognized as champions. This book provides an in-depth analysis of the changes, controversies, and outcomes that defined the decade of college football. It challenges readers to explore and critically evaluate the decisions that shaped the national championship landscape. Unlock the mysteries of college football's supposed to be decade. Grab your copy now. And if you want top-notch discussion, debate, analysis, but no off-season, come on into the Voice College Football @Twitter account where you can get top-notch college football content. Oh, well, there's my take on Brian Grubb. And there's CFB After Dark. There's our friend Ryan Stanners giving his take on Chip Kelly leaving for the NFL. And some our friends Tyler and Tyler all Florida at the Voice College Football. But what else can you find? I bet there's a little something on Instagram. What is it exactly? The Voice of College Football Instagram account, where, of course, you can get top-notch discussion, debate, and analysis. And I'll tell you right now, it's an Instagram page you're definitely going to want to follow.
Oh, we're done? Okay, cool. Sweet. Great
Yeah,
work,
I zoned
Jackson,
out.
as always.
Jason's got a great idea over here for like ideas of things that we could talk about for topics for the off season. Stadiums, road trips, college bars,
Oh, yeah.
best recruiting hostesses, best atmospheres. Yeah, I
Hugh,
like that.
Hugh
Well, I mean, we
Hugh
would.
Freeze and hookers. Hugh Freeze and hookers.
Well, the best recruiting hostesses we would probably it would just all be secondhand. I don't know if
Texas,
any of us have ever been. Yeah.
Texas. If you ever watched the movies like Johnny Be Good and Friday Night Lights,
Varsity
Texas,
Blues.
Varsity Blues, Texas
Yep.
is the place to go.
Yeah.
It's true. There's a lot off season ideas that we have. Obviously, scheduled previews coming up, spring stuff. But yeah, definitely some of these ideas are good. A lot of it will be just argumentative, which I mean, hey, that's the whole point of college football, isn't it? I mean, it's opinionated and argumentative. I mean, so yeah, we definitely can take some of this into account. Oh yeah, I like college bars, for fuck's sake. How are you gonna how would you even equate that type of scenario? What's the best college bars? Like, oh my god, the arguments. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like Sean could tell us about all the different ones around, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you all the ones in Ann Arbor, East Lansing, Columbus, and
Yeah.
Evanston doesn't have any, but really,
it's the ones he's gotten drunkest at the most. That's the ones he's like, those are the greatest.
Yeah, and ended up in a stranger's bed.
No, but I'll tell you, Madison's going to win that debate every time. Which
yeah, I've heard Wisconsin just throw some parties.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Which county jails are the best? No, just kidding.
Which county jails are the cleanest? For Sean.
Yes. And which cheerleaders did Sean hook up to that night?
That I can remember.
Jesus. All right. We've gone off the rails here.
You're fired, man.
So essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to do all the off-season stuff. We're going to talk about the conference previews. We're going to we'll run in some of the other topics there that Jason said. Some good ideas. And talk spring ball when it comes up. It's already coming up very quickly, unfortunately, which is weird. And you already feel like, hey, spring ball's already coming up. So, yeah. Other than that, I believe next week we're going to take off. Kind of reset everyone's mind for college football, and then we'll be back the following week. So that will be, let me check the calendar here. That will
spring
be
ball starts in like 3 weeks for most schools.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, spring ball is already here. And it's like, holy shit, it's wild how fast it came up all of a sudden. So we're going to take next week off on the 9th, but we'll be back the 16th here on the After Dark show to talk different discussions or previews. We'll kind of figure that out over the next week. Is there any other commentary on the best and worst? Obviously, by far the worst. I'm sorry. The worst is FSU. Let's just put that in all college football. The worst is FSU. That's not even an argument. The best. That's a tough one. Obviously, Ohio State won it all. Notre Dame had a great run and a great story, Marcus Freeman. Even that, especially after the NIU loss. You can argue one with the other. Obviously, Ohio State won it. Everyone knew they were going to win it, or they should have. But Florida State, hands down.
A lot of cool storylines there. Who would have thought, like, in the first 12-team playoff, we would have Indiana and SMU and Arizona State?
Oh, you make a great point there. I didn't even mention it. That's one of the best things this year was newcomers in their conferences.
Yes.
2 of them won the conference, and the other one heavily challenged, or 2 of the other ones heavily challenged in Texas and SMU. It's a great storyline in college football.
Oh yeah. Yep, it definitely was. It was a disruptive year. Like everything, so much change. Has there ever been a year of more like change in college football in history than this year?
I don't know. That's rough. It was a weird year. I mean, as me and Spaz can know, for Oregon fans or anyone in Big Ten and even the SEC adding Oklahoma and some on their schedule, it was, and ACC adding Cal and Stanford and SMU. It was weird. It just came out as like, what the hell? Spaz, you were waving your hand.
I found that. I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
Spaz had waving his hand around like a Karen.
I'm good.
No, I think he's saying he's got to take a phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, here in a few.
All right. No, but I thought it's been it was great, a great debate between like this year, all kind of like the old heads, the traditionalist of the sport, and people looking for some change, looking for. I mean, like whether this leads to anything great down the line in college football, whether this change is good. It was fun for this year, at least, to have all these debates and like to see all this change happening.
Damn it! They didn't let my post go, bastards.
He worked all that time like nothing, and then it wouldn't.
Somebody blocked my post.
If you're doing off StreamYard, StreamYard will block posts sometimes. It happens a lot, and I'm like, on my own channel.
Thanks.
It does it on my own channel. It does it to me. I'm like,
thanks, Adam. Please donate to spaz_help-me-get-a-drink.com. Thank you.
Hey, where's my $20 back, bitch?
Oh yeah, I'll send it tomorrow.
You bitch. We all broke over here as Oregon fans. 0 natties, we all broke.
Yeah.
This is going to be the wrap of the 2024 season. Look, it was a great season all around. A lot of surprise teams, heavy disappointments for some teams, obviously. It was a great season though all around. I mean, if anyone says the playoff was going to diminish the importance of the regular season, I think in a way they were wrong. Now, the expansion they're talking about, we'll get into that in another topic. It's expansion is going to actually, then it will start deminimizing, I think, the regular. Right now, we're at a good point where it's like 9 and 3 teams. Who's in, who's not, So it's good. But and Jason's right here too. This was too long for no reason, but it wasn't that much longer. It was only 10 days longer. It just felt so much longer.
What the whole month of January, I don't know what it was. It felt like January lasted for 3 months this year.
Yeah.
Like January 87th was 2 days ago.
I think it was because it was so different to have anything after January 10th. Like January 10th was, you knew it was done. All the bowl games already happened. This was like prolonged with extra games to the home games and stuff, which were fantastic. The home playoff games were amazing, but it felt like a long ass. It was exhausting.
But I mean, like it was 5 months. I mean, from week 0 to
the end of the playoffs. Yeah, it was almost 5 months, which is longer than we're used to having.
Which is one thing we can talk about, because one of the biggest things that people said is, hey, no, not necessarily no more bye weeks, but your top teams get the home playoffs like as planned. They start immediately after championship week, and then every game you play the Rose Bowl championship game. Just because when you're fluctuating where people are traveling to, it's kind of awkward. Like, set it somewhere, either at least in the central of the country or something like that for teams or something. It's kind of weird when it always fluctuates. Now then you're gonna have the whole argument with the bowl system and the tie-ins and all that. You're gonna have that whole argument. But yeah, it's we're gonna see how
Well, Ohio State went from Columbus to Los Angeles to Dallas to Atlanta. That's a lot of travel, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's that's something we'll talk about in the show. It's not fair to the casual fan that wants to go to these games, or even just the general alumni and students, because God, how the hell are you going to fly the Cotton Bowl and then to Atlanta and the Rose Bowl, and you're not going to. Most people are not going to be able to do that and buy tickets. I'm sorry, that's just unreasonable.
All right. Well, I'm going to bow out. I will see you on the live show later, Ben.
Take a knee, Spaz. Bow to me. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. I will see you later, guys. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
See you later, Spaz.
That's it, Spaz.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Right. You can also follow Spaz there at Sean_Spaz Drag. Right there. Jackson's got it. He's always on top of this stuff because I drink a lot and I love to drink. And yeah. These buttons mean nothing to me. I do what I can. I'm doing a lot of stuff in the background, but at the same time, he's the link master over here.
There we go. And there's Oregon at the Voice College Football. There we go. And we got. Right. And let's not forget the YouTube membership for the Voice College Football. There's a link right there.
That's right. Because if you don't want to join the Patreon, you can join the YouTube membership and you still get access to the Discord. And you can then become a weekly member here, or bi-weekly on the off season, especially right here on the Voice of College Football After Dark. I don't know why I'm whispering, but be a member.
Mm-hmm.
I just started whispering for some reason. I have no idea why.
Yeah. Anywho, Ben, what have you got going on your adventures this week?
Absolutely nothing. But I'm off tomorrow, apparently, because no power at my work. So my boss is like, hey, don't worry about it. Oh, I'm going live in 30 minutes. Apparently, I will drop that here in the chat. So if you want to join me on my channel and see absolutely, if you want to see the difference between me here in dropping 3 F-bombs in 3 hours to what I'm over there, by all means, join in. But yeah, so I'll be doing that, and then a couple weeks we're gonna film with another YouTuber. It actually lives only about 20 minutes from us. We just never gotten to meet up with them. So yeah, so we're gonna do that in a couple weeks. What's that?
Nice. In Houston?
Yeah. In the area, yeah, do some stuff and film. So we'll be doing that in a couple weeks. Other than that, yeah, we're just here doing this, and during the long off season. Why am I on full screen? I don't like that.
Because because it's the time to promote yourself. That's why.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You just scared off half the audience.
I think they're fine.
Well, we'll bring the back end. Put me on full screen, Jackson.
Oh, Jesus.
How bad you want it?
Not badly at all.
And he got it. Okay.
There you go.
Jackson, what you got going on?
Well, I've got some magic cooking on Alabama with the Voice of College Football, the 24th edition of Crimson Tide Live, coming Monday afternoon, where Johnny and I will discuss how spring is near and signing day is here. Especially, we also give our take on Ryan Grubb being our new OC, which, like Ben stated, is second time. That's going to be fun to discuss. And we're going to be talking a lot about our take on the Senior Bowl. And we're going to be talking a lot about what's going on for 2025, what our plans will be for 2025. What Alabama's plans will be for 2025, actually. Like that offense, I mean, we should be a lot better than 9-4, especially when you combine Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer together. And of course, you can check out not only am I doing that tomorrow, but I'm also going to be guesting on Inside the Huddle with Lucas Hill, talking about what's going on with the Alabama Crimson Tide at 6:15 p.m. Central Time. And Thursday nights, Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports, and I take your calls on the Alabama College Show, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And Tuesday night, I will be filming episode 60 of the Jacksonian with Locked On Patriots host Mike Debate, where we will be talking a lot about the Mike Vrabel era and much, much more. And if you want more updates on what I'm doing on Alabama with the Voice of College Football and what I'm doing on the Jacksonian, check me out on X, /Twitter, on JacksonVOCFB, and on Instagram that's at Jackson Johnson 543908. But if those aren't good enough for you, check me out on Jackson Johnson 97 on Blue Sky. If you love Blue Sky, so it's like, come on in. I'm catching them all. You know, it's like if there's a social media app I don't have yet, I'll get it.
We're done. There we go. Got it.
Catch them all.
Nicely done, Jackson. Nicely done.
Oh, thanks, man.
John, no one gives a shit.
Yeah, they do.
Should I say everything? Yeah, Jackson started bringing the links to my socials.
Tell them what you got going on.
Yeah, I have quite a bit going on this week. I will be in Columbus from Thursday through the rest of the weekend, catching various Buckeye sporting events and concerts in the Columbus area. So obviously celebrating, the recent events, the national championship that we procured less than 2 weeks ago, and so come by the Cavelli Center, the Schottenstein Center, that weekend High Street over there on Columbus, and I mean, I probably won't be posting a whole lot on social media about it, but it'll be a good time there. So yeah, go Bucks, national champions 2024.
I think it's a little small.
Ben, you guys can have your Big Ten titles, okay?
Hey! We'll take up some hardware gladly. At least we're not Alabama, who went through the season and went home with nothing. I mean, so you'll take some hardware, right? I mean, hey.
When was the last time Oregon had any hardware?
Destroying Liberty last year in the Fiesta Bowl.
Wait, you want a trophy for being Liberty?
That's just how it worked out. We destroyed them like we should have. So yeah. Hey,
is that a participation trophy if ever I've heard of one?
Every year a team can take home some sort of hardware, though, is a good year for a team. Whether it's a bowl win, conference win, whatever, it's a good win. Is that Jackson? Did you just whistle me?
Yeah,
was that a foul? You just
where did that come from?
Oh, I installed it. No worries.
was like, what was that? I was like, what was that? That's right.
Ben starts speaking for like 5 seconds. Yeah, shut up. Get out of here.
That's right. Yeah, and this is the only thing I don't like. Michigan fans going, "Hey, we're Big Ten, we're the national champs because they beat Ohio State." I'm like, Oregon beat them too and won the Big Ten. Shut up, Michigan. Shut up. Shut up. And we beat Penn State. So I mean, it's like, shut up. Anyways, yeah. So over here, just on my end, quickly, exploring Ben and Sam on YouTube. Here, I'll be live in about 30 minutes. I guess on my channel because I'm not going to work tomorrow. So because no power at the office. So fuck it. And
so Ben, can you just summon all of your like little friends at any moment, like to just join you on your live stream?
Yes. It's that easy on YouTube.
And they have that little going on in their lives. They can just like, oh yeah, we can join.
Yes, that's why Troy is in the chat still right now because he's already probably waiting on my channel for the show. No offense, Troy. I love you, Troy, but he literally is probably waiting on my channel. He literally is probably wherever they're waiting.
Well, shall we say the words?
Well, the words are next week we will be off. The following week we will come back and we will start doing, I guess, unless unprecedented news comes out somehow, we will do see? Fucking called it. I fucking called it. I knew it. Oh, wow. Okay, that's 4 or 5.
That's your fourth F-bomb tonight.
Yeah, that was 4. I was like, this is 4 or 5. Anyways, yeah, so next week we'll be off, but the following week we'll come in. I guess we'll start doing previews. Schedule previews, conference schedule previews, kind of like looking at some teams because the ACC just released theirs, and there are some some kind of
I've not seen it.
Oh, it's there are some teams where you're like, yeah, what? There's some layout things in the ACC schedule. It's kind of weird, but so yeah. Anyways, we'll get into that in a couple weeks. So next week we're off. The following Sunday we will be back here in the off season to talk all things college football with all of you and take your questions. And as Jackson said, please hit that like and subscribe. Join the membership on the YouTube here. If not, join the Patreon. Get exclusive access to the Discord. You can be a panel member right here with us. And it would be fantastic as we look forward to the 2025 season.
Absolutely. Smash all those buttons. Give us lots of money.
That too. Please sign your bank account up to the super chat and just put your bank account number and routing number so we can just
in the chat for convenience's sake, right here.
Yeah. No, and the chat is amazing. I mean, I want to thank Dave Valensky, or I'm sorry. Dave Valensky is usually the super chatter. Sorry, it was Matt Ritson. I apologize, Matt Ritson for the super chat. Matt Ritson I was really confused. Dave is a great participant in the show, but Matt Ritson, thank you for the super chat. But all of you, the key thing is here, all of the people in the chat, you are what make this show go and what makes it happen. And so everyone involved tonight, chatting, just watching, commenting, we appreciate you wholeheartedly because this is what really drives the show. It's not us also. It's you. It's like 50-50.
Dude, if it was us, oh my God, this would be
exactly. That's why I was like, no. The chat drives 50% of the show easily. So we appreciate you as always, and hopefully you guys will stay with us during this off season, long off season.
Dude, but I mean, like if you were around last off season, that's when shows got real. I mean, that's when it got real freaky. That's where Mary Mac started.
No,
Yeah.
it did get started about 4 or 5 weeks before the season. I think that's when
Yeah.
No, it was in March. It was March or April. We were doing the Mount West Conference.
previous.
schedule
We were doing the
preview.
previous schedule. And we were like Air Force versus who the fuck is Merrimack?
Yep.
There's 5.
Yep.
I'm counting.
Yep.
I'm also refilling my vape here, but I really want a cigarette.
Oh, Lord.
Right.
I multitask on live stream.
We need to finish this show so Ben can go get a cigarette before he starts his next live stream.
I know,
So
right?
let's
Yeah,
get those work there.
Yeah, there you go. Well, gentlemen,
Yeah, don't take offense to anyone who jumps over that live stream that's posted in the chat. The link is provided. This is me tamed. This is the tame version of Ben at night. So, yeah. So don't get offended. I see a pussy cat.
No. Yes, Lincoln.
I see a
Lincoln,
cat.
come here.
What the hell? I see a pussy cat. What the
Lincoln,
hell?
come here.
Why did Jackson
Come
look all like weird? Like, oh my god! Like, I see a pussy cat. There it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah, there it is.
Whoa. What's new? Lincoln.
Lincoln, give out the signal.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Jason, about that. We'll see, Jason. We'll see. We'll see. So, anyways, yeah. So again, thank you everyone in the chat.
I think that was
the off season, and we appreciate you all being here. Stick with us, especially into the 2025 season. Lots to look forward to. But other than that,
Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson needs the words tonight.
There. Okay. Pop Tart, play us out.
damn right.
Man,
I can't wait for
burn
it.
your hand, buddy. Come on.
We're gonna find some new gifts. I want all 3 of them on his ass.
No, something had to have happened this last Pop Tart, right?
Well,
The
the
creeper
one
Pop Tart is good. You gotta do that.
It looks so juicy.